URT, this is the URT. You are the URT. Smash a like for the URT. Subscribe to the URT. Come closer, people. Come closer. Let me just sort this camera thing out. Come closer. Big up. It's all happening, people. It is all happening. Big up to Jarvis. Big up, people. Apologies for being late, man. I'm really, really sorry. It's just, yeah, one of these things. I start talking to people and the time flies. I literally cycled as fast as I can to get here. So apologies, people. But welcome to the show. Jam-packed show. I'm just literally on my phone. A friend texts me saying the Edison deal could be off. There's something going on with a medical for the Edison deal. So it's crazy what could be going on, people. The Edison deal is crazy. I'm just going to be sending people the link. So just bear with me. Let me just send people the link. Let me just send people the link. Big up to Ben, big up to everybody. But people, it's all happening. It's absolutely all happening. And it's crazy what's going on with football. Sorry, Jarvis, I've just seen your missed calls. Big up and love. People, smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm just going to be sending Ben and everybody else.
Yeah, you do that, and I can talk to the guys. So I just want to say hi to everybody, and thank you guys for being patient and waiting for us to get going with the show. It's been a big night. So many updates, so many news. We have heard the Santos news. Apparently, we have signing him for 48 plus 2 million and a 10% add-on. As we know, that it's been confirmed from a lot of sources. So it seems like it's going to be done in the next 24 hours. And also in this, we hear that there are rumors about the Ederson deal maybe not going through, and he's going to come to Manchester and go through a thorough medical check. So I don't know what it means, but I also saw reports from small sources saying the deal might be off. So this is maybe not our second signing. Maybe Santos signing is the first signing. And also we know now that Tchouaméni has signed a new deal with Real Madrid. So it was all a game all along just to get a new contract. And as we said on this channel so many times, the Tchouaméni deal looked uncertain. So yeah, that's the basics of the latest news. So yeah, Nordin, when you're ready, just start.
It's absolutely crazy, people, what's going on. It's all happening. It is all happening. Luani, we need Luani to come on because Luani's been talking about Andre Santos for quite a while. So we need Luani to come and jump on. Ben's jumping on. And it's all happening, people. It is all happening. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. The questions are there, really, that I'm asking on X. But tonight, we're going to give you as much detailed as we can and be fair and balanced and be objective as we can for in terms of the Andre Santos. I have put together a couple of things in terms of, because I knew this is a signing that Manchester United could do, because Manchester United love to sign a Chelsea player. They love a Chelsea midfielder, you know, so I thought this might be happening. So I've been looking at different things and different articles that have been written, and I put together a little thing just to talk to you about it. But the Edison, I think we need to start with the Edison, because the Edison deal, the rumors that all came, the news that was all coming from Brazil all last week about the Brazilian medical team doing a part of the medical and Manchester United not being happy. And now the latest is, this is like 23 minutes ago, what I'm reading is that the Edison deal could be off because of the fact that, where was I reading it? I was just literally looking at it a second ago. Where was it? Oh my God, I just lose all trains of thought when I'm
internal medical exam.
Yeah, internal medical exam. So basically what they're saying is that there is a problem and it could be off, the deal could be off, and that he has to come and have a full, complete medical in Manchester. That's what it's booked. So first it was said the movie's off. And then it said Manchester United wants guarantees. The quote that I read is Manchester United want guarantees. And a medical has been booked. Been booked for next week in Manchester. And that to me, it's fascinating. It's really, really fascinating. So it could look like you were saying, Jarvis, that our first signing could be Andre Santos. But Ben, I'll go to you first. How you doing, Ben?
Yeah, big up, guys. Good evening. Big up the chat, man. Big up Jarvis, man. Thank God, bro. We've got some lovely weather, man. Honestly, today was absolutely roasting. Even yesterday as well, man. It was just boiling hot, man. Just what I love. And yeah, man. Just apparently it's to be carried on till next Saturday as well. So we got this week and we got all next week, man. So thank God, man. Finally, summer has arrived, man, and just enough time for me to play more golf as well. But yeah, man. Hope everyone's all well, man. Smash the likes, people, and subscribe. Free Palestine. Yep, you know the drill, people. How are you, Nerd, and how are you, Jarvis? All good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Big
Let me
man,
just
bless
read it
man.
out for people. So this is what it says. Edison will go on the medical this week at Manchester United in the UK because United made first checks in the US and they want to do more checks with their own staff in England. At the moment, the deal's still not confirmed. United have closed and signed and completed the deal, not yet at this stage. And we have to be careful because there are medical to do in England and United will communicate to Atlanta and the player what they feel about the medical. So we have to be careful and wait till the end of the medical. So that is according to Fabrizio Romano. The situation at Edison is less clear. Concerns are raised over initial medical exam, but Manchester United have denied rumours the move might be off and insist it will go ahead a full medical. So that's coming from Chris Wheeler as well. Medical check take place next week in England. Want a full guarantees before signing off on the deal. So Manchester United want full guarantees before signing off on a 45 million euros agreement. Yeah. So that is a bit of a breaking thing.
Yeah. And Nurin, you also have this other reporters, Felipe Pisil, I think it's an Italian source coming in and say Ederson move to Manchester United is stalled at this moment. The tendency is that it will not move forward. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like suddenly it's so much doubt about the Ederson deal, and maybe we could see the Andre Santos signing actually be a Ederson replacement. I don't know what you guys. How do you feel? What do you believe about this?
I'll let Ben go first because I've got lots of things to say. Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, today couldn't go any worse for Man United, man. I think today's news has been abysmal. Just embarrassing. Just at short notice. Like, it's nothing against Santos, nothing against Ederson. It's just a complete mess right now. You know, obviously we got told that Ederson was getting ready for his medical, like a few weeks ago when we signed him. Like it was the here we go, and all of a sudden he's failed his medical. I think he had his medical at Brazil, and it was failed apparently, or something going on with his medical. I don't know what it is, what they do over in Brazil, but it's just all a bit of a mess, man. And I don't blame Ederson. Like, you know, obviously, I know how medicals form, like how medicals happen, and like if you fail medical, it's shit, man. Because obviously, for me as a footballer as well, like obviously I failed my first medical for my new club, and I have to wait 3 months. And obviously, I don't know when Ederson's medical for since he failed his in Brazil. So it's just all a complete mess, man. The question is obviously, as you asked, Jarvis, is the Santos going to be the replacement for Ederson? I really don't know, man. I really just don't know. I just think any of us are just going round in circles. It's just madness. I think if you were to ask me to answer your question, I think that I think the Ederson deal will happen. I do believe Ederson deal will happen. I think it's just too much. There's just too much positivity going around with Ederson that I just can't see it collapsing, in my opinion. But who knows? You know, obviously we know who runs our football club, man. But the one thing I'm just really upset and really annoyed today is just the Tchouaméni deal. And look, people are obviously gonna say, look, we were never in for Tchouaméni, it was all PR, man. But when I see Arsenal and for Bruno Guimaraes, when I see Tonali, when I see Fernandes go to Spurs, when I see City and for obviously they signed Anderson, they've signed that youngster and hijacked Arsenal, man, and they're apparently they're in for what do you call him? Fuck, I forgot his name, man, but they're in for like more players like that are in the range of Anderson's price tag, midfielders and defenders as
Yeah.
well. And to me as well, like this is the most important thing is I seen this on Twitter as well. Now that Ugarte is now out for a long time, we have to come back to Ugarte and saying, is this Ederson deal, is this Andre Santos deal, is this just to cover up for Ugarte? I do believe it is, because I think Ugarte getting injured was a big setback for Ineos with their plans, even though I don't believe they have a plan. But I just wish Ugarte didn't get injured, man. But look, I've got nothing against Ugarte, man. If he got in, everyone gets injured in life, and it's just unfortunate, obviously, with the timing and stuff. But it shouldn't be an excuse for Ineos, man. Like the Mason Greenwood just got signed for Fenerbahce, and we've just got another 10 million or 10 million euros on that on. So look, it's just more money coming into the club, and they're just not doing anything about it, man. So it just
Did you
is
read
what it
somewhere
is.
there that is it as much as 10 million?
I think it's 7 to 10. I don't actually know
it's a
the exact.
40% on the
Is it up to?
profit. The sell-on clause is, I
Oh,
think
I
it's
thought it
40 or
was 50%.
50% on
I think it's
the
50.
profit of everything. So I'm not even sure how much, if it's 5 million or 10 million,
Yeah,
but yeah.
it's
But yeah, I think you make a lot of good points, and we don't know anything. We just read the
we don't.
reports coming out, and when it comes to Tchouaméni, we all know that that Mendes, his agent, always plays Man United, and he's done so with the Mateus Fernandes deal also. So I don't know, he knows how to use the media to get the attention and get the players moved around to the clubs he like them to move to. So again, I think we have to be very careful from now on if Mendes is involved in the deals. I think it's obvious. I think it's clear. And but talking about agencies, this guy Santos's agency is also representing Bruno Guimaraes. So maybe this could be something we could look at in the next upcoming weeks. But now we're seeing Arsenal putting in a third bid, 55 million for Bruno Guimaraes, and maybe Man United could come in and hijack that deal. Maybe that's the hurry now to land this Andre Santos deal, just to be ready to go in fight for Bruno Guimaraes and just scrap the Ederson deal entirely. So maybe we are going for another Brazilian again. And yeah, this is just speculations from my side. I don't know, Nordin. Do you think it could be something there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. It looks like the transfer window has kicked proper right off. Literally, Santos apparently signs for United, and then Bruno Guimaraes technically puts on a transfer request at Newcastle. So anything could happen. People have hijacked people's transfers before. But let me go to Blank with a super chat. It says, "Watch Baleba, our marquee signing. Haha, joke thing." Well, we'll see. Only time will tell. But I know that it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be less than 80 million or 90 million or whatever it is, that Brighton one. Nura, do you think we have a real chance of Tchouaméni? No, because as the breaking news is that Tchouaméni has signed a new deal at Real Madrid. Let me just have a look at this. This is what Fabrizio says 10 minutes ago. Tchouaméni has signed a deal at Real Madrid until June 3031. Lawyers have already approved all terms. Jose Mourinho has been clear. He wanted both Tchouaméni and Valverde to stay. More players will sign new deals at Real Madrid.
I'll say a hard take anyways. John Murta and Richard Arnold better than Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada. There you go, people. I've said it. I've said it. They've just embarrassed them. They've just embarrassed themselves. Apparently, there's a rumor out there that apparently, Man United officials, obviously Wilcox and Barada, were to schedule a meeting with Real Madrid. I presume they went over to Madrid and spoke about the meeting and spoke about their wee project and wee plan. And Real Madrid, so like, no, okay, we're open to sell Tchouaméni, so let's hear what Tchouaméni has to say. And I bet you any money Tchouaméni has said, why the fuck would I want to join a circus? Why the fuck would I want to join a racist man who's going to be my fucking boss? So, like, it's just laughable, man. It's fucking laughable.
So Tchouaméni was never coming, to be fair. I did
he
say
never
on
was.
last night, last night, and I've said it before, that Jose Mourinho came out and said no. So he's not coming. Jose Mourinho spoke already. We talked about it on yesterday's show, The Shade, before that. Jose already said he's not going anywhere. It's just the PR. Manchester United do so much spin, and that's what the frustration of Ben is coming out, because the spin from this football club, it is just so much. And I always say, Jarvis and Ben and the audience, please, people, let's get to 200 likes ASAP. We're shadow banned, but please, lots of news breaking. We've got so much for you tonight to get into. The point I always make, if they spend the amount of time with PR and spinning, if they spent all of that amount of time actually doing constructive work at this football club, we might have challenged for a Champions League. We might have won a league title. We might have challenged for. We might have been to another Champions League final. We might have competed if they spend that level of time and energy. So this is all going up. And Jarvis, yes, Manchester United have hijacked people before. We've hijacked Sesko. Sesko was on his way to Arsenal. They disagreed, and then he was on his way to Newcastle. Then Manchester United hijacked. But I want to go to you, Jarvis. What do you think? You're very perceptive. You're a midfield player. You're somebody who has deep knowledge of attributes and players. What do you honestly know about Andre Santos? What do you know about him?
My honest opinion is I don't know much. I haven't hardly seen him play. You know, I've seen him in bits and pieces playing for Chelsea. He was mostly used as a sub, played every third game. I think he had 12, 13, 1400 minutes for 13 games started for Chelsea last season. But I did some research on his stats, and they look good. You know, to be honest, I like his profile. I always talk about profile, not big name signings. And for me, you know, I think the right profile would have been Sander Berge because of his passing ability, his ability to keep things ticking. And, you know, this guy, Andre Santos, is kind of the same profile. And it's very central in the way he plays. He can progress the play. He's a passer. So again, you know, I'm positive because of the profile, but I don't know much about him. I can't even remember seeing him play. So this is my knowledge. But if you go by the stats, quickly, let me just go through it if it's okay with you, Nerdin.
I've got stats ready. Let me just show you.
Oh, okay.
You had a heat map ready. I literally had the heat map ready, and it was Sanderberg and Santos.
Yes.
And they're so similar, it's unbelievable. But now my thing is gone. Honestly, I literally had it ready. But you continue, because
I have it here if you want to look at the heat map. And yes, I did the same thing. You know, great minds think alike. And if you see here Andre Santos and Sander Berge, you know, there's a difference in age. Obviously, he's only 22, so he fits into the Ineos bracket. He's not the tallest guy, only 180 centimeters. I don't know how much that is, 5'9" or something. Yeah, he's not a big player, but you know, he comes around the pitch. Market value is 39 million euros, so we overpaid a little bit when it comes to the fee, 50 million pounds. And you know, he played for Strasbourg in the French league, and he did quite well that season. He played almost 3,000 minutes. He averaged 7.44, and his heat map from the Strasbourg season is quite interesting. So let me do it like this. You see it's very centrally, and it's deep. You know, he's compact, and that's a perfect heat map for a DM, I would say. If you look at Sander Berge, it's more spread out. But if you go by the Premier League season he had last season, It's more spread out, as you see, but there's not as many minutes. It's just 1,200 minutes. So I would rather look at the Strasbourg heat map to give you a gist of this player. So I find it more interesting, the Ligue and Strasbourg heat map. I think that's the best heat map I've seen of a DM so far. So the profile really gets me going. I'm positive to the profile and the type of player is, passing, keeping things ticking, ball retention, recycling, not losing the ball. He's very risk aversive. He doesn't give away the ball all the time. So I think we need this type of profile. That's why I've been speaking so highly about Sander Berge. So this is my initial take on this player. But as I said, I haven't seen him play. I've seen some cameos, I've seen some compilations, and that's that. So I don't know if any one of you have anything to add when it comes to his attributes as a player.
I mean,
go ahead,
go
Ben.
ahead. I got man. I mean, obviously, one of my favorite midfielders post Fergie that we've signed is, and I think he just got horribly criticized so much in terms of what he did, but see his composure on the ball as a midfielder, it was second to none, man. We just signed him too little, too late because obviously we had the Glazers involved, we had Woodward, Richard Arnold, all that shit, man. It was Nemanja Matic, and Nemanja Matic actually commented on Santos, and he said Matic didn't really look at what Santos was doing on the ball. Matic was more concerned about what Santos was doing off the ball, and he said he actually fits the profile that Carrick needs. And when I hear that from the Nemanja Matic, like, then I have to pray and hope, man, because I just think we missed someone like Nemanja Matic that can take the ball from the back from the first phase of play. And I think the one thing I'm concerned about is, and I know people will get on to me, man, but you have to have some form of balance in the midfield, especially for a midfield two. Obviously, we're never going to be playing midfield three. This is Man United's DNA, whether anyone likes it or not, man. But it's his height, and his height is 5'10". Obviously, I think it was 180 centimeters, whatever it is. Look, everyone can say like whatever they want. Like, you could be successful if they're two small guys in the midfield. You can be, but I just think, in my opinion, like, you look at the top teams. There's always one big beast of a player, like, who's got that aerial threat, like what we've had with Casemiro, like what we've had with, obviously, I can't believe I'm mentioning him, but McTominay, Nemanja Matic as well, Pogba. You always need one player who's a beast, and he's tall and stuff. He's technically gifted. I just think that's what we're missing now. From what I've seen with his stats and some of his time at Chelsea as well, I do like him. He's good with both of his feet. He's got a nice week. He's got a clever first touch, and I like that. But physically, he's okay. Slightly concerned, but let's see how he gets on. I like the fact he came from the French league as well. I've always told Nerden so many times, we need to be buying players from the French league, because they can just learn the Premier League more in terms of physicality, man. But I don't know, man. Like, if you were to ask me right now, if it was Santos, Kobbie Mainoo, and a Tchouaméni in that midfield three, like if Tchouaméni was to sign, then I think that'd be a very, very scary midfield three, man, because it's just proper balance, man. And look, people can say all they want about, we didn't need Tchouaméni, we didn't need this, we didn't need that. But I'm sorry, we've actually just embarrassed ourselves, because Anderson have made a proper, like, wow signing, obviously, in Elliot Anderson. Arsenal are literally on the verge of looking at Bruno Guimaraes, which is a really, really good signing. Spurs have literally completely dominated the whole market with Tonali, Fernandez, Van Hecke, Robertson, Sensei. Like, these clubs are very, very ambitious. And whenever clubs look around and say, right, who else got top four this last season? Okay, Man United, let's see who they've signed. Ederson and Andre Santos. These, like, they're thinking to these other clubs are thinking, Man United are not going to get top four again. These signings aren't, You know, they aren't shocking the world. They're not shocking or nerve-wracking the other clubs or biggest rivals around the world, man. They're not, because we're playing the Champions
But to
League
be
as
fair,
well, man.
Ben, but to be fair, Ben, we've not seen them play. We've got to be objective to a certain extent. Yes, they're not Tonali, they're not Mateus Fernandez, and I
But
didn't
no,
think
but
I
no,
also
but
think
you need
Mateus
experience
Fernandez
too.
needs developing. But yes, they
Yeah,
are
but, yeah,
underwhelming. They
yeah,
are underwhelming because I don't
but
listen.
yeah.
Me and you know Manchester United are not challenging for a league title anytime
No,
soon.
no.
We're not going to be playing in the Champions League final anytime soon. But we have to be fair to the players. We have to be fair. Like Onana, I knew Onana was never the Manchester United player. I knew Onana. We bought him of one game. We watched him one game. All the fan base got giddy. Pep Guardiola gaslighted us like he gaslighted us about Fred, about Sanchez, about Maguire. This is how thick we are as a football club. We let Pep Guardiola gaslight us about players, then we signed them. So he kept doing it again. He did it with Sanchez. He did it with Maguire. He did it with Fred, and we kept doing it again. And people go, but Fred was linked to Man City. Oh, Maguire was almost going to go to Man City. Sanchez was wanted by Man City. All of these different kind of things. I understand what you're saying, Ben, and a lot of the people feel that. Listen, I feel something like that, but we have to be objective. They have not kicked the ball for Manchester United. Are they underwhelming signings? Yes. One of them comes from a league that is over 50s football, walking football.
Yeah.
That's what that league is. Another one is the kid who's been on the bench and there's not enough data. And the data I've got on here, pick up Luwani. Luwani's the guy who loves him. But let me just show you a data. Let me just show you a little bit of the data from FootMob, just to show you.
But just to come back on you, Nerd, like, you know, I 100% agree with you. We need to, like, that's why I'm not giving Santos or Ederson any stick. I'm just pissed off because who have they got to, like, who are they learning off when they come into this team? Let's say Santos and Ederson are going to be our first teamers. People are going to say in the comments they're not going to be first teamers. They are. They really are. Who are they going to learn off? Who are they going to learn off? They can't learn off Casemiro. He's gone. Are they going to learn off Bruno Fernandes, who's an attacking midfielder? He's not a defensive midfielder. This is what I'm trying to say. Big up, Mina. I watched the Street Jacket podcast. Mina is spot on. She is 100% right. You need leaders, and we don't have enough leaders in this team. The only leaders I can probably mention is De Ligt, maybe I'm actually struggling here.
Ben, can I ask you a stupid question? You know, what are professional footballers in the 20s supposed to learn from other footballers? Because I'm asking it I'm genuinely asking because I'm wondering. Because if it was me as a footballer, let's say I've gone through the ranks, through the academies, I played in other leagues, played in the French league, now played in the Premier League. I played with Caicedo and Fernandes. No, what's his name? Enzo Fernandez in Chelsea. And you come to Man United. What more actually do you need to learn? Is it like leadership or how to handle certain situations? You know, big pressure situations, or is it learning about the game?
Even it might be young, but apparently he's a leader, Ben.
I'm just asking because I'm wondering myself. Because myself as a player, you know, I can't say I learned as much from the players I played with, but you know, when you play with high quality players that good, it makes you focus on your own game and you can explore and do the things you are good at, and you don't have to cover for anybody else. So playing with good players is always a help, but you know, for me it's more about quality with the players. It's not about the age in a way, but that's just from my personal experience.
No, 100%. Like, and I remember when Zlatan Ibrahimovic came, you know, everyone was literally like, I remember I don't know who our other strikers was back in the day. I can't remember. I know Martial was there, but Martial was learning so much from Ibra. Same with Pogba. He was helping obviously Herrera, and obviously Matic was like, everyone was complimenting each other. And like I said, Jarvis, when I said about, you know, the likes of Tchouaméni, you know, Tchouaméni's won it all. Like, he has won it all. Yes, he's still 26, but he can bring that to the changing room. Say, look, guys, I've won the Champions League. I've won the fucking La Liga. I know what it's like, and it just basically
but it's
having
about
a leader
setting the
beside.
standards. Yes.
Yeah,
So
100%.
that's the
setting the standard.
problem, as
And
we talked about before, because as we said, Lord of the Flies. You have a group of
100%.
stranded guys on a desert island. It's
yeah, and just one more as well. Like the most important thing as a youngster, and Nerdin could probably say this as well, and everyone in the chat can say this. Like the most important thing when you're coming in as a youngster and you don't have anyone to learn off, like an experienced midfielder that's done a lot of things, is when, because I know what our fan base is. We have like literally the most disrespectful fan base in fucking sports history. Once you have a bad game at Man United or a bad spell at Man United, you're gonna get thrown into the fucking deep end. Look at Amad Diallo. Look at Amad Diallo. That's a big prime example right there. We threw Amad Diallo into the deep end and said, Amad, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not doing that. This is what I'm trying to say. If
look
Andre
at
Santos
Euro, look at Dogu,
100%,
look at
100%.
Ugarte. 3 bad games. Everybody hated on it. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is what I'm trying to say, Jarvis. If Andre Santos comes in and he has a bad set of games, or Henderson has a bad set of games, fans are going to get on to him and get on to him. And the biggest question as a young player, and anyone outside of football, if you're an amateur or a professional, is how can you cope with the pressure? Because this is Man United, and yes, people can say we're a joke of a club. We are, but we're still fucking huge. We've still a massive fan base, and this fan base can get on to people just like that. And right, that's what I'm saying to you, Nerdin. That's what I'm saying to you about too many.
100% facts. Those are facts. You need a mixture of experience, but to me, good experience, not shit experience like
no.
And
no,
because
100%.
to me, at times, leadership and experiences can be overrated. It was the experience that got Senegal knocked out, loose games in the World Cup, because the centre half, Koulibaly, and their goalkeeper let them down. They're both experienced guys. They're not at the level. So you need people who are experienced, who have got leadership qualities, who are at the level. Manchester United as well. People who we hold on to people who are no longer at the level. But let me give you my 2 and full pence of this. Andre Santos is an underwhelming signing. Do not get it twisted. There is enough data on him in the Premier League. That's why both Jarvis and everybody else is looking at him. Is looking at him what he did for Strasbourg. That's what we're looking at, right? That is what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at, right? Luani's having really bad time with the internet. Luani, can you hear us? He's having really bad time with the internet. Luani, maybe it's better not to use the camera.
Yeah, big up, guys. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Turn the camera off. Yeah. Turn the camera off.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
And see if it works better, the connection. Are you on the road?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, maybe stay like that. So let me just say this. Let me give my 2 pence about this Andre Santos thing.
Right? Okay.
I want to show the whole stats in a minute, and I want to go into.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. We can hear you. Yeah, we can.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Right. So good. Just give me 2 seconds.
How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing great. We're gonna get you to come on and to explain to us about Andre Santos. So just give me 2 minutes.
I'm still about an hour from home, so
okay, cool.
It's just the internet is bad.
Yeah. So just give us 2 minutes and then I'll try to get you in. Right. So Andre Santos is an underwhelming signing. Manchester United were linked with him or were talked about him in the past, maybe I think January and stuff like that. There's all these reports now. All of a sudden, to me, the question I'm asking tonight, what number was he on the list? Because Manchester United were linked with Chouameni, Manchester United were linked with Alex Scott, Manchester United were linked with Mateus Fernandes, Manchester United were linked with Tonali at once, Bruno Guimaraes at once, Ilya Anderson. So what number is he? I've just counted 6 midfielders, but what number was Andre Santos? So he is behind those 6. That is what we're looking at in the list. That's why I put the question that way. That doesn't mean that he's not going to come in and have an amazing career at Manchester United. That doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that he's going to become a fan's favorite. Like Ben said, like we all said, Tahith Chong, remember, he had 2 good games. Fan base got gas. Then he had 2 bad games, and he was the crappiest footballer in the world has ever seen. True. So we know what our fan base is like. We know what the socials are like with our fan base. Andre Santos is underwhelming because they were bigger. And the mad thing about it, somebody said, let me just get some of these super chats as well. Somebody said, imagine that they used that money to go and get Alex Scott from Chelsea. Because Alex Scott, actually, the only club that he's been heavily linked with is Chelsea. Chelsea have been a club that he's been heavily linked with. Let me just get these super chats. So it says, hold on, Runa. Is Santos the marquee signing? That's the question I'm asking as well. If you looked at my ex, I've asked all of these questions. I've also asked the big question is he a cover for, is he the cover for Kobbie Mainoo? Is he a cover to Kobbie Mainoo? If Kobbie Mainoo's not playing, is he the guy to play?
No, he's the Casemiro replacement. He's the number 6.
Okay, well, we're going to get into that debate. Rance rates him, and I trust his talent IQ. Give him a chance. Big up, Blank. Stop signing big names, and you still complain. We stopped signing big names, and you guys still.
Man.
Manchester United have always signed big names. What are we talking about? Manchester United in the most successful period in the club's history. You don't think Cantona was a big name? Do you not think Rio Ferdinand was a big name? Wayne Rooney was a big name. Roy Keane was a big name. Do you not know that these people were big names? Do you not understand that? Do you not understand that these players were big names? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's just that you're signing players who are not have no stability, and then you're not improving players. That's been the biggest problem. Not signing whether big names or small names or mid names. It's been about the stability and the work to do with those players on the training ground. That's what's been lacking, and a developmental plan and a strategic plan to get the best out of the players that we sign. So I hope, and I say this, I hope that Wilcox-Weetabix, Barada Potato Head, and Pavel and all the rest of them have a plan for Andre Santos. What did I say the other day when I did the show? I said, I hope Manchester United, because the fans are kicking off Jarvis and Ben, I said, I hope they don't panic and go and spend money and make mistakes, because when you're panic and you feel like you're under pressure, what happens, Jarvis? You can make mistakes, especially if majority of the club is built on what, Jarvis? PR. When the whole club is built on PR, and you know the PR's not PRing, and then they force Michael Carrick to come out with the most craziest statement. Did he read the statements about how much he loved the fans? Why didn't he say that towards the end of the season? Why didn't he say that in the last season? Why did he come out all of a sudden when the club is getting a lot of stick in all their social media? All of their social media, Manchester United Football Club, are getting a lot of stick because of what happened with Mateus Fernandes, what happened with Elliot Anderson, and that they've not moved quick enough when we know we need 6 to 7 players in the transfer window. Now, Andre Santos, like you said, Jarvis, I'm looking at him in where he was at Strasbourg in Liga. So this is his stats. His stats are actually quite good, right? Quite good. For a defensive midfield player or a guy who plays in a double pivot, sometimes can play a bit of a deeper role, because he can play as an 8, Jarvis, and he can play as a 6 as well, right? So 10 goals, here we go, expected goals. It's quite high. Shots on target. He was quite accurate in it. Obviously, he was playing every week. And the reason why he's come to Manchester United as well, Jarvis, because he wants to play every week. And apparently, Xavi Alonso has not promised him game time because they have no Europe. That's another big thing. So the reason why he's going, because Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez are expected to play, because Real Madrid are not going to pay 130 million or 40 million for Enzo Fernandez. Do you hear what I'm saying to you guys?
Yeah.
So this is the reason why he is gone. He is saying he can smell the coffee and go, I'm not going to be able to play here because they're not in Europe. And these 2 guys are ahead of me. And Lavia's ahead of him. Lavia is just injury prone. But we can see it creatively on the ball. He was amazing in Strasbourg. He was really good. Look at these are off the charts. For a number 8, sometimes a pivot player, this is off the charts. But the most thing that I'm looking for me, because positionally where he's going to play for United, is defensive contributions. Here we go. Tackles, incredible. Recoveries.
Can you put it per 90, because that's more interesting for me to see how much impacts do they have per game. If you go a little bit up and just press per 90 in order. Upwards. Yeah, there, per 90. Yeah, that's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Then you have the facts per game on average.
Yeah. So here we go. It's still quite impressive, Jarvis.
Yeah, it is.
It's still really quite. But the big thing I'm looking for is here tackles and interceptions.
So
now,
we have
I
like
have seen it.
seven defensive contributions a game, and 3.5 tackles.
Yeah, I have seen him, Jarvis, in the Premier League. He gets a lot of yellow cards. So the point is this: from the notes that I made, here's the breakdown. So let's go what he's good at first of all. He's really good at ball carrying and progression. He's more of a conductor than a guy who's going to spread 50-yard pass onto somebody's foot, Jarvis. He's the conductor. He's the connector, sorry. He's more of a connector. But ball carrying is supposed to be...
Yeah, so I guess really what you're saying, in a way, he could do the Kobbie Mainoo role when it comes to that. Yeah.
Yes. He's not a guy... The reason why I'm saying to you that made me think about him being a Kobbie Mainoo cover at times, right? When Kobbie Mainoo's injured, or maybe they might play together in some games with another midfielder. That could be it. But what I'm saying to you is that because he's not a guy who can switch the play, he's not a Mateus Fernandez who's going to be doing 60-yard diags, 50-yard diags to somebody's foot. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
He hasn't
his
got
long
those
passing is average.
He is a short passing player. So ball carrying progression, strong frame, long stride, you can cover ground quickly. Good on the transition, can shield the ball well, uses his body effectively, passing efficient, tidy, that's it. He's tidy, reliable. This is the notes that I made. Medium to short passing, progressive passes to break the lines. It keeps the play moving simply and efficiently rather than being high volume creator. That is it. Goal threat, excellent movement. He makes good runs into the box. That's why he's got 10 goals. Very good finisher on both feet and the header as well, right? He's 1.98 meters. So it's over, like Ben was saying, like 5'10", right? But he's good in the air.
Yeah. Average. Yep.
Yeah. He's good in the air for the guy that had defensive work rate, strong tackler. He's a very good interceptor. The interceptor and the positioning is good, can be good for me. Is that in the interceptors, I'm always looking at the interceptions, right, Jarvis? And on here, we can see his interceptions are quite good, actually. They're quite good. They're quite good. Now, this is in Liga per game, but he is good defensively to a certain extent. One thing I've noticed for him in the Premier League is that in the Premier League, actually, he gets a lot of yellow cards. He gets a lot of yellow cards, Jarvis.
Okay.
He is somebody who can easily be booked because of the way the Premier League is and the way that the physicality of it. So physical size, good at balance, good at shielding, can improve with age and experience. And this is the biggest thing. He has still not improved. So all of these things, he can do the basics decent, right? Good. But he's not outstanding in any of those things, Jarvis, because he still needs development. And this is where we talk about developmental areas, decision-making. Sometimes he can lose the ball under pressure in deeper areas because he takes too many touches. So he needs to be refined, Jarvis. That aspect of it needs to be developed. When he's heavily pressed, he needs to get out of position. Like Alex Scott is brilliant. Alex Scott is one of the best being heavily pressed, getting out of situation. Physically, intensity, he can't last a lot in games. Intensity is not something he needs to work on.
I agree.
And the physicality in the Premier League, he's found it tough at times.
Yes.
Discipline defensively, he switches off at times. He commits rash challenges that which lead to fouls, and he gets quite a little bit of yellow cards. His recovery positioning can be exposed. He wants the ball. He bites, Jarvis. And exactly similar things that I realized when I was looking at the stats and looking at more detail scout report of Mateus Fernandes. Mateus Fernandes gets attracted to the ball, leads positioning, but at least he was learning that position. He played more of a number 10 attacking player, right? He actually also, he played more of an attacking player for Brazil under 19s or whatever. And I think he's from Vasco da Gama, if I'm not mistaken. He came from the academy. So long range is not his biggest thing. He might be able to learn, but like I said, he's more of a conductor. Primary playmaker. He is more of a conductor than a playmaker. So these are aerial from what is his ideal role? Is the number 8 in 4-3-3. I repeat for the people at the back, his best position is ideal role is the number 8 in a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Well, they call him the deep lying playmaker, you know, the type of regista type of player, you know, but
Jarvis,
I'm not sure.
Call him that, but I don't think he's ready to play that role completely yet.
But yeah,
when I looked at the note, they said can partner a deeper number 6 like Casado, like Lavia, or play in a double pivot, versatile enough for various systems. So he can be versatile in various systems.
Quick question there, then. Is anyone from Chelsea here? I've seen him play, and with who did he replace? Did he replace Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez?
No,
when he played.
When he came on, usually he replaced Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo, yeah.
Okay, so he played with a clear 6.
Yeah, with a clear 6
in a double pivot.
Yeah, but then I've also seen him play when he played, and another guy played as well. They've got another kid. I forgot what the other guy. They've got so many midfielders.
Lavia.
But one times when Casado's not played, he's played sometimes as well. So it's Strasbourg. He thrived in the system that 3-4-2-1 or 4-4-2, excelling left central midfield with freedom to progress and score. So at Strasbourg, he was more of an attacking footballer, attacking player. In the Premier League, they're saying that he can suit for high-pressing, transition-focused teams. Recent Chelsea minutes show the screening and the composure roles.
But I find it interesting because Stu and I have had this debate so many times. Stu is always on saying, on Tactical Devils, saying that we need a 6. But I've always been clear when it comes to this. Carrick don't play with a 6; he always play with a hybrid 8. So we have two who can operate as a number 6 and as an 8. So again, you know, I find it interesting what you're saying now, Nerdin. Actually, that he could be more progressive. And when you look at the Strasbourg stats, 10 goals, 3 assists in 30-something games in League that's quite good. And you know, people are criticizing, and maybe some of you are thinking that the French league is a farmer league. No, I tell you, it's not. It's not like the Italian league, Serie A. It's not like the Bundesliga. The French league is, and the Spanish league are so much higher when it comes to the physicality. So they are comparable to the Premier League. So again, and yeah, you had a decent season for Chelsea this season. So I don't know if it's good enough, but yeah, I find it interesting that he can operate as a hybrid 6-8 type of midfielder. So I get what you're saying, and yeah, he might be the Kobbie Mainoo understudy, the guy who comes in when Kobbie needs a rest.
Jarvis, from everything that I read, he seems like a Kobbie Mainoo cover. But
because everybody said he was the Casemiro replacement again, you know. But
well, we don't know. We don't know.
Maybe I think Edison is the Casemiro replacement. I think Edison.
Stop that there. I know. But I like the fact. Yeah. I like the fact that you've mentioned hybrid. Like, you know, that's what we need. That's what we've been missing for the past fucking decade. Like, is players that can play a hybrid role. 8 and a 6. You know, that's why Pogba, Herrera, and Matic works so well as a 3, because all 3 of them are hybrid midfielders. Now, the question is that I want to ask about Andre Santos is, and I've seen obviously a lot of the clips, and I've seen a few Chelsea games here and there when he came on, is I love his intensity. I mean, I've been screaming for Man United players to be, you know, so good at intensity. I think he's spot on. But when he has the ball, I just think it's all too quick. Like it's 100 miles an hour every time he's on the ball. He's looking for passing. Look, sometimes that's not bad, but I think we're missing that piece in that midfield where we need a midfielder that dictates the play, dictates the tempo, and just like the likes of Rodri's one of those players. Kimmich from Bayern Munich,
profile.
Sanderberg, yes, to a certain extent, Vitinha, Sergio Busquets back in the day, one of my favorite DMs. You could even say Xavi as well. You know, these players, you know, they're all like they're still players that are from that like generation that still lives on in a way, you know. And I just think with the man he managed back in the day, obviously people give him so much stick because he was too slow in the ball. He needs to be quicker and stuff. But sometimes in football, you have to take the tempo. Not everything always has to be 100 miles an hour on the fucking ball. This is what I'm trying to say. Is he going to be our tempo maker as well? Like, is he going to dictate the play just like Kobbie Mainoo is as well? I don't know. To me, when I seen his clips, he's just too quick. He's just too fast. Once he gets the ball, he's looking instantly. He's quick and like he just wants to play the pass as quickly as possible. And I don't mind that. But you have to have a balance. Like if we're going to bring him in, obviously we need another midfielder that you know dictates that tempo and dictates the whole game as well. You know, and I just think Tchouaméni could be that player, and sadly he's going to sign that contract, man. But even Sanderberg, bro, honestly, if you were to ask me right now, Jarvis, Sanderberg, Kobbie Mainoo, and Santos in that midfield three, holy good grief. That's just proper balance right there because Kobbie Mainoo can progress the ball up the pitch. Santos can progress it, as we've just, as Nuran just spoke about. And then you've got Sanderberg who can dictate the play, dictate everything, and everything has to go through him. You know, and I know obviously football's not all about one guy, but see in the midfield, you need to have that leader, that guy, that commander that has to, you know, play out from the back when we're playing out from the back, playing through that first phase. You have to have someone who just, you know, do you know what? Like, see, when every time Rodri gets on the ball or Kimmich gets on the ball or Busquets gets on the ball, players just say, "Fuck's sake, can you stop hogging the ball and stop, you know, pissing around?" The opponents get really annoyed and get super, super angry. Same with Fabinho as well. When Liverpool were obviously they had Fabinho, obviously Wijnaldum and stuff. People got so pissed off Fabinho hogging the ball because Fabinho just kept keeping the ball, keeping the tempo going. Like, and I just wish we just signed someone like that. And I hope he proves me wrong, Santos. But from the clips I've seen so far, he's just so quick in the ball. Like he's so quick. He's quickly. He's just ready to make that pass instantly, like instead of just taking his time. And I don't mean by I don't want him to take so many touches. No, but there's a way you can play as a midfielder where you take less touches, but you can still play slower. Like for example, that right back situation, like Diego Dalot and Mazraoui. Mazraoui is literally like the tempo fullback because Mazraoui can play. He knows when to slow things down. He knows when to be patient. Whereas Diego Dalot, he's just 100 miles an hour all the fucking time. He just doesn't know when to fucking stop. So that's what I'm trying to point out. Like, so we just need a tempo player. And is Andre Santos going to be it? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Wharton,
that's another one. But I think Sanderberg fits is.
Yeah. Obviously, there are options, but again, looking at the Ineos profile, I can't see us signing a 28-year-old. Yeah,
So Jarvis, the big difference between him and Caicedo is that Caicedo's more refined. Caicedo's better, stronger ball winner, and he's stronger in the consistency, his fitness, the intensity for 90 minutes. But Santos is not there for 90 minutes. He's not. He struggles with the physicality and the stamina of the stamina that you need to have to play week in, week out in the Premier League. He still is building up to that. But he is very good at tackling. The duels and the blocking is quite good. But he's better than Caicedo in attacking. He is a big threat in the box. He's a goal scorer.
So could we see this Andre Santos coming in, maybe playing more games in the Champions League in Europe?
Yes, because the tempo is way different.
Stages, yeah.
Yes. I expect him to play more in Europe because the tempo is totally different and it will suit him. Yeah. But
Hmm.
the thing about it is that he will play maybe in a double pivot and it would be one to go. And he might have to come on because the thing, what we don't have to start, not everybody has to start Jarvis because there are games some players will start and some others will start, like we've seen in the World Cup. In the Premier League, you need to have 20 players who can play Jarvis because you get 5 subs. You got 5 subs.
Yeah, as I said, always say you need at least 16 to 17 players. That's high
I believe
quality.
20. I believe 20.
Yeah,
For me,
okay,
personally.
yeah.
You need 20 because of injuries. That's how much that needs to be involved because of injuries. Because we still got Dr. Death here, don't we?
We do.
But
We
people,
do, and he's still not gone.
people have been voting for the past I don't know how long, and I've asked a question. I said, "Are you happy with André Santos signing?" People get involved in the poll, and let me just have a look at the poll. It's very close. 55% of you said you're happy with the signing. 45% of you are saying
Very
no.
mixed in.
Yeah.
Very
So
mixed
it's
in.
10% either way, and 55% of you are being optimistic.
Yeah, but I think that's representative of the Man United fan base also when it comes to this.
Yeah.
I think people appreciate his profile, his potential, and all of this. But in a way, a lot of us expected more. So it's almost like 50-50. We are a little bit torn.
Yeah.
And, you know, it could easily go sour with a player like him, you know, if he's not go in and starts playing well from the beginning. So again, we are Man United, but our job now is trying to support him as best as possible and get the best out of this player. You know, we spent £50 million. It's still a lot of money.
Yeah, let me just say something before Ben comes in. I really think they knew the Tchouaméni news was going to come out today or tomorrow, and that's the reason why they pounced. Because what would have been is this: Manchester United for 9 months said Elliot Anderson. They didn't get Elliot Anderson. They went for Mateus Fernandes. They said they're all focusing on Mateus. They didn't get Mateus Fernandes. Then they've used Tchouaméni to PR spin the fan base and make them believe that Tchouaméni was coming. And Andy Mitten actually put it in the psyche how many months ago and said, yeah, there's a midfielder United are talking to. Madrid players on the whole always use Manchester United to get better contracts. And Madrid players, they only leave when they want to leave and they want to get that big payday. Like Varane, like Casemiro. Casemiro, like I said, his grandchildren are not even here. They're dancing on the Copacabana beach because nobody in world football was ever going to give Casemiro that amount of money and that length of contract. No football club in the world was doing that. They were not doing that. So I personally believe they've signed him quickly because they knew if Tchouaméni would have signed and we still would have just been linked with just one player, they would have gone crazy. So I think
big up, guys.
It makes pure sense now. Sean, go ahead. Give us your 2 pence, Santos. Are you happy? Are you happy about this?
I'm not happy.
Big up, Sean.
I'm not happy. Big up, guys. Big up, Jarvis, Ben,
Big up, Sean, man.
I'm not happy at all. I think I agree with Jarvis' conclusion that, you know, once he puts on the shirt, we support him, and that's how I would be. I think you guys know me. I'm manager and team FC. So as soon as the season starts, I'm 100% behind the team. I will spend all my energy trying to figure out ways to make the ideas work, as opposed to, you know, being doom and gloom. But as of today, as of the 8th of July 2026, I am extremely disappointed in the transfer window so far.
Same.
Right? I think this to me is like, if you can bottle the Ineos incompetence criticism, if you can bottle it and sell it, I think this window has been proof positive of all the critiques of the United management. How do you spend the second half of last season telling everybody and their grandmother that your target is Elliot Anderson? Elliot Anderson is the guy. He's the one. He's the one we're going after. He's the solution. You spend all that time talking about Anderson only for us to find out, well, we're never going to be able to pay the money anyway, and he wanted to go to Man City. Okay, no problem. No problem. Anderson is too expensive. He's going to City. We can't compete with them. For the last 15 years, right, United have been trying to solve a midfield problem. We struck gold with Casemiro. Unfortunately, he came to us at the later stage of his career, but we got, at least to me, 2 wonderful seasons out of Casemiro. And as far as I'm concerned, he has attained cult hero status at United. Not quite legend, but he's a cult hero. And I think if you ask him, his seasons at United are ranked, even though he didn't win Champions League. I think as far as his legacy is concerned, a big part of it is at United. So we have very big shoes to fill, right? Prior to Ederson, we had just two midfielders that you can count as human beings, Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes, and they're not going anywhere, right? I don't count Mr. Mount, I don't count Ugarte. We had just two. So we were saying we needed three signings this summer, not three squad players, three first team players, three midfielders that on a given day could start if Bruno and Kobbie were not available for whatever reason. We looked at Matheus Fernandes, we looked at Tonali, we looked at Tchouaméni, right? And then after wasting the first month or so of the transfer window, we're now ending up with Ederson and a Chelsea reject, right? Chelsea had their worst season last year in maybe a decade, and Andre Santos still couldn't break into that squad. He still couldn't break into that team under what's his name?
But
The
don't you think it's
PET
a little bit harsh calling him a Chelsea reject? I would call him a Chelsea rotational player, maybe at best.
I hear you, Jarvis. I'm trying to be as punitive as possible. I'm not necessarily going for accuracy. So it's possible. I'm fine either way. And I think there are more generous interpretations than what I'm putting forward. But this is me expressing my maximum disappointment. Once the season starts, I would start using all the talking points that you brought up. I would defend him to the fullest. I would say he was a squad player as opposed to a reject. But like this, the way I'm feeling right now, that's the framing that I'm adopting. I just, as far as I'm concerned, right? Chelsea
but if you look at the profile of the player as I did, you know, do you like his profile? You know, he's a passer of the ball. He's good at ball retention. He's good at recycling the ball, keeping the ball ticking. And if you look at his Strasbourg season, is very disciplined positionally, and he also brings a lot of goals. So he could actually fill in as the number 6 and for Kobbie Mainoo when needed. So his profile is very good.
I agree with all of that, Jarvis. I think my problem is that he's probably, I don't know, number 4, number 5 on the list of tiers of priorities that we wanted to go after. And it reminds me of the season where we were trying to sign Fabregas, but we ended up with Fellaini. That's what it feels like. So I mean, it's very possible that that he's actually a quality player. And like I said, I back the team. I back Carrick. So whoever we assemble, once he puts on the shirt, and I mean, I think to be fair to him, right? And I'll take you up on still manning Andre Santos. He did have a good career in France. I think he was a high performing player. A lot of Chelsea fans are disappointed to see him go, right? I think the few times that he played for Chelsea, he did have good showings. Basically, my problem is just I wanted a bit more quality. I think to me he still seems like a maybe not. I was looking for Tonali, like I was looking for somebody who has done it in the Premier League at the highest level and has the records and proof to show for it. Even Matheus Fernandes, right? We've seen him 2 seasons be the best player in a poor team, stand out, best player in a poor team. Andre Santos, like he might as far as I'm concerned, he's just one of many Chelsea young black boys that Todd Bowley assembled. Right? They all look the same. They all have tattoos. They all have dreadlocks. Like it's just cut and paste the same, profile. I don't know who he is to be honest, but from what I've read, right, he did have a decent career in France and so on. So I mean, maybe it's a workout, but if you ask me how I'm feeling, honestly, I'm very disappointed in the transfer window. I think Ineos coming out of this looking extremely incompetent. Even the Tchouaméni idea, why even put that out there? Like in what universe was Tchouaméni going to sign for us, right? And then the reporting is now that we were telling him that he would have to accept a lower salary. Somebody that just signed a salary of £400,000 a week, right? We're telling him that he would have to accept what to come to us. Like it seems to me, it seems crazy. It seems incompetent. I feel like, and for me, if the fans are feeling this way, I promise you 1,000%, the players themselves are feeling disappointed too, because I'm sure they were looking forward to, and we've heard this from players before, we heard this from Rooney, we've heard this from other players, that they also assess the squad's the club's activity in the transfer market. Like imagine if you're Kobbie Mainoo sitting on the bench dreaming of the season to start, and you hear that Tchouaméni is coming to play with you. You'll be motivated, right? You'll be inspired. But when you're reading the news and it's like, oh, who? Andre Santos from Chelsea? I don't know. It doesn't fill me with a lot of hope or confidence.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sean.
That's
Yeah,
how
I get the ambitions. You are fair to criticize the ambitions, but a quick question. When it comes to this, because okay, it's underwhelming signings, but last season we were linked to Martinez, the Aston Villa goalkeeper, and Donnarumma, and we ended up signing Senne Lammens, currently the best goalkeeper in the Premier League according to last season. And also we went for Sesko instead of Ollie Watkins. So again, we have seen a couple of underwhelming signings doing well at Man United, and the architect behind this is Vivell, and he brought Santos to Chelsea for a fact, and now he brought him to United. So again, could we actually sit there and say, okay, I don't know much about this guy, but I trust Vivell because he's done well in the past when it comes to these type of players?
That's fair. Honestly, that to me is a fair point of view to take. Right. But the one thing I would just add is that I think for Lammens to thrive the way he did, I think it was made possible by the excellent performance that Casemiro put in last year, by the rejuvenation of Maguire and of Luke Shaw, surprisingly, right? Of Cunha, of Mbeumo. Those guys, I think the rest of the team really stepped up, and Lammens also played a part. I think that center of midfield is too important a position. It's just too important a position to put it in the hands of Andre Santos, whose best experience is as a squad player in Chelsea, and Kobbie Mainoo, who is also finding his level in the world, and Bruno Fernandes, who, depending on which United fan you ask, is either the best player or the worst thing since sliced bread, right? So like we need more, I think, from Ineos basically this summer. We need some quality.
Big up, guys.
Let me just bring in Luwani. Luwani, make the case. Go ahead, make the case.
Big up, my brother. Sorry I'm a bit late today. Bad internet. Okay. Guys, I think we need to chill out a little bit when it comes to the transfer window. We as United fans, I don't know if we are in a crisis of identity or something. We don't really know what we want. We complain that this ownership does not want to spend money. But this is what they've done for the past 10 years. Throw money at the problem, marquee signing, but still, we were not able to build a competitive team. Now that they are laying the foundation to bring in young players, potential leaders, we are still complaining. What is it that we want? We say we want success on the pitch, and we tie it to our own grievances. But the reality is that you don't achieve success in a vacuum. It doesn't happen tomorrow. You have to lay the foundation for that success by bringing in the right mode of players. Young, preferably, talented, combination, fine. Now let's talk about Andre Santos. We need to take our tribalistic glasses and our sensationalism glasses and put it on the side. Every time we talk about this kid, people talk about him that, oh yes, he's a Chelsea reject because we are so tribal. Anybody that wears a Chelsea jersey does not deserve to come and play for Manchester United. So by that token, maybe you shouldn't have signed Robert Van Persie then. There are gems out there. We forget the context. The context is that Chelsea is a team in disarray. And in that midfield, when you look, that midfield they have an abundance of riches. We are committing a highway robbery. We talk about value in the market. That's what Sir Alex Ferguson thrived on. We are getting value in the market. I mentioned in last stream, 50 million or less. And that's exactly what happened. 48 million plus add-on. Now look at the profile of the kid. He's just not anybody. The kid, look, I haven't watched Santos since he was a kid kicking ball or anything like that. No. The first time I watched him was when we played Chelsea at Old Trafford last year. And the kid killed us. He killed us in the midfield. Okay, he killed us. There are different ways. I guess it's all down to preference. The kid obviously was something in Brazil. If you watch his palmarès, he championed. He captained Brazil's team to the under 20 South American Championship. When we talk about South American Championship, African Championship, European Championship. The African Championship, we are all brothers. We can sing Kumbaya. The European Championship is all about, hey, who brought the best tactic to the table? South American Championship is war, guys. And this kid took Brazil to the under 20. I pay attention to that. Now, when I look at when I watch him, right? Now that we got him, I went back and read a couple of things about him. This is not confirmation bias. This is bias confirmation. This kid, we don't see it in game. He ghosts. There are many ways of ghosting. If you ghost in a midfield position, it's different from ghosting as a striker. And ghosting doesn't mean that you're having a bad game. Ghosting can just mean that you are evading the pressure. And there's many ways to evade the pressure. People evade pressure with their physicality. Like Tchouaméni, people evade their pressure with their technical ability. Like Matias Fernandez, there are people who evade pressure with their brain. They are a combination of everything. This kid play with an average pass completion accuracy of 90 plus every game. That's what he posted. Yes, some people will come out and say, yeah, everybody can achieve 90 plus pass accuracy by doing 5-yard pass and 10-yard pass. Okay, so if I tell you that he ranked third in line breaking passes behind Rodri and Van Hecker, now what are you going to tell me? What that demonstrates to you is that this kid have the preponderance. He see the press before the press sees him. Okay, he released the ball. He sees passes that no one else on the pitch sees. That is what that tells me. This kid is a good footballer. If he walk into our midfield tomorrow, he will be probably the best midfield that we have, including Bruno. And I put my hands on the line for that. He is polyvalent. He can be moving the 8. He can play in the 6. He can even play in the 10. You look at his goal contribution at Strasbourg. That's what he says. He is good, guys. And for once we got the value of the money, for the money, let's stop complaining. Let's see what he's about. What is the sensation on the obsession about Tchouaméni? What's the obsession about Tonali? What is the issue with those two?
When I ran for
Sorry,
president,
let me just
when
come
I
in
ran for
there.
president, I want Luani to campaign for me. That was good.
Do you know what? I agree, man. Just to come in there, Luani, honestly, like first things first, I want to big up to you, Sean, because everything you've just said there about
Let me just get the super chat. Shush, let me just get the super chat. Big up Mufc. Manager gets top 4. He won't get back this summer. The next season he lose some games and fans want him gone by October. The blame
round and around we go.
Managers
on the merry-go-round.
I'm tired of it. Yeah.
No, 100%, Mubsy. But here, just to come in there, like, you know, Sean, I think everything you've just said there, I'm so fucking glad that you've actually brought incompetence to the, you know, you've said the word incompetence about these fucking people who are running our club, because it is fucking embarrassing, like at the start of this transfer window. Luani, I don't know what smoke you're on, bro, honestly, like the fact that you're saying
they're good one. They're good one.
I hope, bro, I hope. I was literally about to sing a song there for the panel. Are you some Jim Ratcliffe in disguise?
1 second, then let me just get what do you think that? Let me just get this blank says bench Bruno, that effing rat is holding us back. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but on a serious note, like from your point, Sean, like I'm completely on board with you. Like, you know, if you had a Tonali, if you had a Tchouaméni, if you had an Elliot Anderson, like, you know, you have defensive stability for Bruno to go up the pitch, for Mainu to have a bit of more freedom. You know, you have leadership as well. I will always keep bringing this up. Leadership. Tchouaméni's won everything. Tonali, yes, people say whatever you want. Like, you know, Tonali's had lots of Champions League experience. He's came from a big club as well, from AC Milan as well. You know, I think it was only me and you, Sean, that was on the Tonali brigade. But honestly, bro, like, the fact that, yes, I'm not gonna put so much pressure on the Andre Santos. I like the profile. I do like it. I like the fact that Matic has actually, commented about him, like saying what he does off the ball. I like it. But the biggest question you gotta ask yourself, Luani, and to the chat and to the panel, when he has bad games, 3 or 4 bad games, can he handle the pressure from the fan base? That is the multi-million-dollar question, because if he can't, because obviously he's still a youngster, he still is a youngster, and Man United is completely different to Chelsea. I don't care what anyone says. Man United is a much bigger club than Chelsea. Can he revive the pressure once shit hits the van? And I don't know, because obviously I've seen players in the past that when they have bad patches, it just goes, it literally is like the Titanic, just sinks to the fucking ocean, man. And honestly, bro, like, I just think when if Andre Santos was our signing and we signed a Tonali or Tchouameni or fucking anyone that has some level of experience and some level of leadership, then Andre Santos can then learn off from that guy, just like Ibrahimovic taught Martial, just like fucking Ronaldo taught Greenwood and fucking other players obviously around him. That, and Cavani as well. Cavani, people keep forgetting about Cavani.
Did you just say Ronaldo taught Greenwood? Have you seen the relationship between those two? Greenwood was looking at him what the heck is this thing doing? This guy doing? Absolutely. They didn't see eye to eye, these two.
But still, Luani, that great season we had with Ronaldo, Greenwood, and I think it was Rashford on the left. We were fucking dominant. We were absolutely fucking dominant. Like, I actually thought it was Sancho was out as well that season as well. And look, obviously people forget about Sancho, but we actually, like, when Ronaldo signed and he scored that two goal lead over Newcastle, I was like, hang on, we actually have a fucking squad here. We actually have a squad. We have Pogba, we have Nemanja Matic, we have fucking, obviously back then still decent Luke Shaw in a way. We have obviously who was the other centre back along with Maguire? I can't remember the other centre back. But anyways, forget about all that. I just my issue that I'm having right now is not Andre Santos. People, do not think that I don't rate Andre Santos. I like the profile. I always want defensively minded midfielders because that's what we've been missing in the past so many years, bro. But the biggest question and the biggest issue I have is you don't have any leaders in the midfield. And number 2, people are going to say Bruno. Obviously, I'm thinking Bruno as an attacking midfielder. I'm more thinking about the double pivot, right? Forget about Bruno for a sec. But there's no leaders in that double pivot midfield. And when it comes to tempo as well, I don't think Andre Santos... Yes, you can say about 90% fucking pass accuracy, all this bullshit. I don't care. Can you dictate the play? Can you slow the pace down when you have to be patient on the ball? I don't know. For me, when I seen the clips from Santos, he's literally 100 million miles an hour. He's literally gets the ball and he's instantly looking for the pass. And look, that's not bad. You can have that, but you need to have another midfielder like a Rodri, like a Kimmich, like a Busquets, like a Vitinha that can dictate the play and literally cause the opponent by saying, "Fuck's sake, can you hurry up and pass the ball?" Because there's always one player on a team, there's always one midfielder that you get so annoyed and so angry about because they keep hogging the ball. But that's what great football, that's what great midfielders do. They just keep hogging the ball and like dictate the play and all that shit, man. But I just think Tonali, Tchouameni, Anderson, even Alex Scott as well. I just think we're missing the plot here, people. And I'm not getting on to Andre Santos. I just think if Tchouameni was alongside him or Tonali or Anderson, I'd actually be more delighted with Andre Santos because, we've actually got 2 profiles there that can both complement each other, and Kobbie Mainoo as well. We have to forget about Kobbie Mainoo as well. But I just think the whole Ugarte signing, the injury has just set us back big time, man. And look, it's not on Ugarte at all. Everyone gets injured, but it's just Ineos propaganda, people, and they want to gaslight you, people. Like as Nurden said, the whole Tchouameni thing was as we speak, it's all PR, and they just want they were to my understanding, Nerd, you keep going on saying the Man United scouted Santos for so many years. Look, I'll be honest with you, Nerd, I couldn't give a shit if Man United have been scouting him for years, bro. We've scouted players over the past decade and it still didn't fucking work out. So my issue is, can you come in and handle the pressure when shit hits the fan? Because we are gonna have a bad patch. And another thing is, what is your leadership? What is your leadership? That's my take. And the tempo as well. Can you dictate the play? And as a midfielder, because midfield, you have to dictate the play. You have to dictate it.
Yeah, nice one, Ben. I totally get what you're saying, and I think you made a lot of valid points. Paulinho on loan. I'm running blank on vets for experience. Listen, what's going to be is going to be. I think Luani. I think you try to give a different balance. For me, the biggest thing is now, is he better than Alex Scott? No, he's not. No, he's nowhere near better than Alex Scott. Alex Scott was the guy that Manchester United should have gone for. I'm a big believer. Because Alex Scott is completely different to him. But the question I'm going to ask in the poll, so the poll, I'm amending this poll right now, and it's 46-54. 46-54. Wow. And it's 45-55. But I'm going to end this poll, and I'm going to ask you guys now, will our Manchester United still going to make a marquee midfield signing? Marquee is the word that the club and their crony journalists used this summer, that they're going to make marquee signings in midfield. So that is what I'm going to... Are Manchester United going to make, and I'll let Jarvis come in, going to make marquee signing. The most important thing for me is that, is Andre Santos, do Manchester United have a plan? Do they have a developmental plan? Do they have a tactical plan to get the best out of it? Any signing that comes here, half of it is on the player, the other half is on the club. It's the environment and the culture that you provide and the standards that you're asking of that player. And then the other half of it comes, the bargain comes from the player. Can the player step up? And I mark my words, the reason why they said yesterday, they announced Santos, because they knew Tchouaméni, because Manchester United have been using Tchouaméni as part of their spin to get the fans engaged and excited. It was all lies. Jose Mourinho came out. We talked about it on this channel 2 days ago. And we told you, Jose said he's not going anywhere. And he goes in a long list of Real Madrid players who have used Manchester United as a threat to go to Manchester. Ramos used us. Who else used us? How many? I think there was another two. I think Varane used us before he really genuinely joined us. So there's
Ronaldo 10 times when he played for Real Madrid.
Yes, he was always saying, "I'm going to Manchester. I'm going back to Manchester United." So there is a chat. Ramos used us two different right times to say, "I'm going to Manchester United to get better deal out of Madrid." So Tchouaméni used Manchester United, and Manchester United have used him, and that's the reason why they have announced Santos. Because the idea of Elliot Anderson, Mateus Fernandes, then Tchouaméni, done without signing anybody else, they've already been getting loads of stick on their socials, Manchester United. So that's what would happen. But now the question is that, are Manchester United still going to make a marquee signing in midfield? But Jarvis, tell me, for me, it's about, am I right or wrong? It's about the half on the club, half on the players. It's about the environment and the structure you provide. And it's also up to the other half. It's up to the player to get the best out of themselves. But you have to, as a football club, be able to provide the stability and the structure and the right environment to get the best out of players. How do you think we can get the best out of Santos? Jarvis?
A lot of good questions. But when it comes to Santos, I've been watching like 3-4 compilations of 3-4 minutes each of Santos right now, and when I watch compilations, I don't sit there blown away about his abilities, because it's compilations. You can make Maguire compilation and make him the best defender in the world, or whoever. So this is just how it works. It's internet, guys. But what I look at is, for example, how is he using his right foot? Do he use his left foot? How do he angle his body when he receives the ball? Is he open up his body? Do he close his body? Is he taking a first touch away from the opposition? Is he just taking the touch and then shield the ball? So just small details. And what I see from his game, I heard Luani talking about his passes, and yes, he had a more than a 90% pass completion in last season for Chelsea, and he did the same for Strasbourg, 89%. So it's almost the same. But
Jarvis, where's he passing to? Because I can get 90% if I'm passing it sideways or I'm passing it 5 yards.
Well, he is kind of progressive, but it's not entirely correct what you said, Luani, when it comes to his line breaking passes. I think he's ranked like 12th or 10th in the Premier League out of the midfielders. So we have averages 15 line breaking passes per 100. So basically 85 of them passes are sideways or backwards. But I'm a little bit worried because his physical stature is only 5'10". He reminds me a little bit. I see Fred when I see him in these compilations, how he is, and I think it worries me a little bit because the Premier League can eat you alive, if you're not strong enough. And it's not built like a tank. He has a low center of gravity. That's good, but it's not built like a tank. So again, is he supposed to be that type of guy?
Jarvis, in the reports that I've read, he gasses out. Forget about even the bulkiness because he's only 22, so his body's gonna grow. But he taps out because of this intensity. He can't stand the pace for carry on.
Yeah, and that's a worry. He needs work on his physicality. He needs to bulk up. He's 22. He can still bulk up and be stronger. But his height, he can't do anything with his height. Okay, he can jump high, and he will probably win a lot of duels. But again, I need someone who will win 8 out of 10. That's what we need. One type of midfielder, so we don't have to rely on Maguire walking up the pitch to win those duels, because we know Maguire can't get home again if needed. So again, that's not a suitable plan. Also, when it comes to his game, he's right-footed, yes, but he's also kind of left-footed, because when he goes into not tackles, but if he goes into intercept or win the ball in duels, he sweeps with his left foot first, and when he wins the ball, he uses his right foot to progress. So I like it. I like what I see. I feel like he's kind of two-footed defensively and one-footed offensively, if you understand what I'm saying. So he's semi two-footed. So defensively, he uses both his feet. I think Fred is a good thing, but his passes, when he tries his line breaking passes, I know he has risk aversion, so he doesn't give away the ball, but the way he passes the ball when he needs to pass it more than 5 yards or 10 yards, I don't like the technique. It's kind of similar to Fred. He doesn't pass the ball with a good movement. He punches the ball, if you know what I mean, and the ball goes like this, like it jumps a little bit. So it's not always easy receiving those type of passes. So he needs to work on his technique too, from what I see. He's still young, but it's, you know what I mean when I say he punches the ball. He's not passing it like a good ball. When you see Iniesta or
Jarvis, just like you, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed by the detail as well. Okay.
Edison's exactly the same. 1 second, Luani. Edison's exactly the same. Edison passes the same way. But carry on, Luani.
Yeah, just like you, I'm obsessed with the detail. But the thing is that when we're talking about height, I'm not too worried about height in the DM position in a league where I see N'Golo Kante, Bernardo Silva, Kun Aguero, all of that. Height is not an issue for me. For me, it's about the technique and the brain. And from what I've seen from this kid, he know how to evade the press without even have to use his body. The kid is immaculate on the ball, that for sure. And his touches are crisp. He's good. He's a good footballer. And I don't have any issue. I'm not saying that he's our marking signing. I know that the deal with Ederson is still on. So Ederson is probably our squad player. And we adding Andre Santos to it. We still need somebody to come in. Bring in Baleba, and fine, we can talk about addressing other areas of the pitch in terms of the left back, right back, center backs. These are other urgencies that we need in this team. But let's not go and just downplay what this kid is. You can break into look. If you look at that Chelsea midfield last year, um, we have the Argentinian guy, uh, we have Casedo, we have Renato Vega, and sometimes Rhys James is using the double pivot. This is not an easy midfield to break in. And when he did play games. He played games for Maresca. He played games for Rosinha. I bet Rosinha knew him from France, but they rate him somehow. But when I look at that, I don't look at it from the sense that he's not able to break into that midfield. I look at it from the sense that he actually displaced Renato Vega, who is a competent international player for Portugal. So this kid has potential. The question that I want to answer now is what Nuruddin brought up: is the environment right for him? That is still in the air. But there's no question for me that at 50 million, this is a highway robbery.
I completely disagree with you about height. I think it's just, I mean, when this season coming, if opponent teams are going to be taking set pieces and stuff, who have we got? Who have we got that can defend set pieces really well, apart from Maguire? Like, forget about Delit. Obviously, Delit's going to be out for a long, long, long time. Like, our focal point in set pieces, whether people are like it or not, was Maguire or Casemiro. Like, we always had to heavily rely on them. And now, obviously, you're getting, yes, he's like 5,
Yeah, but I don't know why. I don't know why now we're suddenly talking about high. Like if we didn't have Ugarte, we don't have Kobbie Mino in that. Look, okay, you guys talking about Tchouaméni. I've seen Tchouaméni lose games against Barcelona. He didn't win the league. They didn't win. They didn't win. They didn't go anywhere in the Champions League anyway. So I've seen Chelsea team beat that Real Madrid team with a midfield of Mason Mount. So let's not talk about big personality or whatever. It's about composition.
Yeah, every team in their like top teams always have at least one beast of a fucking midfielder, like Rodri, like fucking Fabio
yeah, but the same Rodri, the same City team that lost the Champions League final to Chelsea with N'Golo Kante and Mason Mount. Come on, what are we doing, man? Football is football.
And the thing is as well, like you mentioned Bernardo Silva and Aguero, like they're completely different positions. We're talking about the defensive midfielder situation, and like if you have a Kobbie Mino and a guy who's a 5'9" or 5'10", whatever he is, player, like that's gonna be we're gonna be vulnerable. We're gonna be completely vulnerable next season for set pieces. And yes, obviously we've got that set piece coach now, but honestly, bro, I just think we're gonna be going backwards. And I hope I'm wrong. I pray and hope I'm wrong because I'm not gonna be relying on Luke Shaw fucking defending set pieces. I'm not gonna be relying on Diego Dalot defending set pieces. The only two focal points we've got left is, technically speaking, Sesko, which he's not really a strong guy in the air, and Harry Maguire. That's the only two players we've got left because Delit's injured. So we're low in numbers, and obviously previous seasons we've actually struggled when Casemiro wasn't on the pitch. By the way, when he had that bad injury, we struggled big time. And set pieces, that was our biggest issue under Eric Ten Hag. It was always set pieces. We have to do better. Man. But honestly, it's just madness, bro. And look, when you talk about the environment, I mean, I'll tell you right now, but the environment right for him? Absolutely not. He's going into a racist club. He's going to a Zionist club. And honestly, bro, if I'm like anyone from fucking outside of England, bro, I'm literally shit myself because I'm entering a fucking racist club that literally, obviously, Sir Jim, we know what Sir Jim said. I keep repeating it every time, man. So the environment's not right at all, bro. The developmental plan is shocking. It's just abysmal. Like, we've sold Garner. Remember James Garner from fucking what club does he play for? Everton. We sold him. We sold fucking other players like Sekou Kone. We don't have a plan at all. We do not have a plan at all for these young players, bro. And that's why I always keep coming back to having always, obviously, Casemiro obviously has taught Kobbie Mainoo a lot and other players around him and stuff. You need leaders in this fucking team, man. And I will always keep stressing about it, no matter what, man. And once again, I remember one game that just stood out to me about when I talk about tempo.
Can I just add? Anytime you say leaders, we need the right type of leaders. Leaders.
Yeah, 100%. We do. Yeah.
Not
I agree.
leaders who are just fake
I agree.
leaders.
I agree.
Like Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's not a fucking leader.
But the players I've mentioned though are leaders. Like too many is a leader. Tonali is a fucking leader.
Listen,
Anderson is a leader.
Because to me, at the leadership, you have to be playing at the level. You have to be at the top level. Leader. I just want to say this.
Yeah. Can I just finish the last point? Yeah, like remember one game last season? It was Ruben Amorim was in charge. The first 45 minutes we were dreadful. It was at Villa Park. Who came on in the second half and he played in the midfield? Lisandro Martinez. Now I'm not saying bring Lisandro Martinez in the midfield. Absolutely not. He's fucking dreadful. He can't cope with the intensity. But you remember in that second half, we were fucking dominant in that midfield. Why? Because Martinez controlled the midfield. Why was that? Because he was a tempo midfielder player. This is what I'm trying to say, and this is why I've always said to you, Luani. Obviously, you've seen a lot with Santos. Can Santos do the exact same as what Martinez showed with us? Can he dictate the play, control the tempo in that midfield? I don't know. I just want someone who I can guarantee that can do that. And right now, obviously, Jarvis's favorite player. I watched the Norway game. I think Zanderberg is out of this world, bro, for a fucking tempo player.
You asking me, can he do it? You're talking about somebody who at 15 still brought Brazil to the South American Championship. You don't go from Brazil to France. France is not a slouch. France is as physical as a league that you can get. We're not talking about somebody that went to Italy or is coming out to us from Germany or Spain. He's coming from France and he played at Strasbourg. So this guy have been doing this. He's 15 in the same position. So let's not overestimate the task that's at hand a little bit. Yes, I know playing for Manchester United is a daunting challenge, but this kid have all the ingredients to be successful because I like these people who release the ball quick. The press doesn't have to get to them. Okay, we're talking about the possibility of him having a bad game. How are you going to have a bad game when the press can't get to you? He's good. He's that good. I think he's a special player, and that might be down to preference or opinion, but I'll maintain that.
I mean, this stuff reminds me a lot of Ugarte. It really reminds me of yes. When we were in the Ugarte era, we were looking at all the stats, right? All the stats and all the charts about how Ugarte was such a great tackler and all the ball recoveries and this and that and this and that. Like, you need balls to play at United, big balls, right? And you need to have been somewhere before, anywhere. I personally, I would love for Andre Santos to step up. But to me, he just I mean, we say Chelsea reject is too harsh. Okay, a Chelsea squad player. It doesn't fill me confidence, right? That we're building our midfield with a Chelsea squad player. I'm sorry, and it's not to say that we can't take any player from Chelsea. If Caicedo slept with Rosinha's daughter, and so Caicedo needed to leave Chelsea, go and get me Caicedo. I'll take him 100%. I would even take Lavia. Except for the fact that Lavia gets injured a lot. So I have no problem taking Chelsea players. I would take Opama if he was available, right? I would take Enzo Fernandez as well if he was available to come to United. So I have no problem taking Chelsea players. I just don't feel confident when we're building our team with a Chelsea squad player. That's just
Sean. I'm glad you say you don't feel confident. Let me say something. When I close my eyes, you know what I see? I see Lenny Euro, I see Eden Heaven. I see Andre Santos, I see Kobbie Mainoo. Then I see Amad Diallo. That's a core of young people. For me, that signal will lay the foundation for a future team. It might not be ready at 2028 as promised, but this encourages me. The profile, the age.
Luani, I just want to remind you. Luani, I just want to remind you how Ineos see buying young. They put value on them. And I watched the Talk of the Devils, the podcast, which is the athletic guys. Andy Mitten said he's got he's got sell-on value. That's why they went for him as well, Santos.
No, I mean that would be a consideration, right? And I have no problem with that being part of the consideration. That makes rational sense to me. My issue with what Luani is saying, right? Sorry, excuse me. My issue with the arguments that Luani is making when it comes to the Santos guy is it's kind of a false choice when you talk about youth. Matheus Fernandes is young. Tonali is 26 or 27. He's not old. He still has at least 5 years of top flight football to play. Elliot Anderson isn't old either. Neither is Baleba or Chouameni or any of these guys. So we could still have built a core of young players, but we could have done it with better quality young players, in my opinion. And secondly, when you point to
this is my caveat to that quick, right? You say, what does Matheus Fernandes, Elliot Anderson, and Chouameni all have in common? The price tag. I'm set in stone in this. When you're building a foundation for a team, you do not overspend on talent, because then you don't know what's going to happen at the other end. You can end up blowing the money. It's a risk that I'm not willing to take.
There's two sides to that risk, Luani. There's two sides to the risk. One side is the one that you've articulated, right? Another side of the risk, from my perspective, is the risk that the price of admission to the top four in 2026, and you may not like it, I don't like it, Arsene Wenger certainly doesn't like it, all of football doesn't like it. But unfortunately, in 2026, prices are extremely inflated for footballers. And so when I look around me, I look at Arsenal with £100 million midfielder. They spent about 50 million or so on Zubimendi. They're about to spend at least 65 on what's the guy's name, Bruno Guimaraes, right? That's money being spent. I look at Chelsea. Chelsea spent £200 million on Caicedo and Enzo, and then they've been spending like sailors basically on other midfielders. I look at Liverpool. Liverpool spent over 300 million in one transfer window after having won the Premier League, right? So they won the league, and then they went big and they spent. Man City's midfield. They just spent 100 million or so on Elliot Anderson, and everybody they spent 100 million on Grealish and threw Grealish to the wayside. Like, imagine if Grealish was a United player, right? That we spent 100 million on. We got maybe, if I'm being too generous, they got 10 good games out of Grealish. 10 solid games where you can say Grealish turned up for Man City, and they spent over 100 million for him. But guess who cares? Nobody, honestly, aside from the FA and their fake investigation, right? So you've articulated one side of the coin, Luani. My concern is that maybe the other way the risk would show up is that we're trying to be too clever by half, right? We're trying to be penny wise, pound foolish. And while we're spending all our time building a foundation, people are flying past us. Tottenham have bought Rafael Leao, Tonali, Matheus Fernandes, and Andy Robertson, and they have one of the best managers in the world, De Zerbi, a manager who many of us wanted. So let's say Tottenham have a good season. Aston Villa are going to continue the way they were last season. There's Chelsea who just signed Xabi Alonso and is going to be performing this season.
No. It was a fake. It was a fake. But they are in for him. But they're in for that guy. What do you call the youngster from Bournemouth? Groupie.
Groupie Jr. They're going to invest. I took the Leao point back, but they are going to invest, right? And what I'm saying to you, Luani, is the reason why United were able to come third this season is because we were playing one game a week, and a few of our players had the best seasons of their careers. Like, they had their best performance ever last season. Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Maguire, Luke Shaw, Kobbie Mainoo, Mbeumo, Cunha, best performance of their lives they had, and were able to come third in a season where everybody else was kind of shit. How do we compete next year without Casemiro to score headers at the dying minutes on different games, right? Without Casemiro's experience, without all of that, my concern, my worry is
Sean,
that
great question. Great question. When I hear you talking about spending, you see, when you talk about spending of City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, you can classify them in one group, the winners group. Those people are spending to maintain the Premier League. They are already in their final stage. Every spending they do is toward winning the league. We are not there yet. We're still building. If you compare that spending to Tottenham spending, it's a different spending. You want to see panic? You want to see panic spending in motion? That
That's
look
not
at
true.
Tottenham. Tottenham is spending the money they're spending right now because they were too close to burning in hell. They were too close to relegation. They don't
Wait now.
ever want to go. You telling me that Tottenham is spending all that money because they want to challenge for Champions League or they want to challenge for the league? No, it's two different end of the spectrum.
This is where people
wait.
are very confused. Sorry, Sean. This is where people are very, very confused as well. Like, you know, when people say Spurs have just signed Tonali for 100 million, they've signed Fernandes for 85 million, they've signed Van Hecke for 50 million, and so on and so on. They don't actually pay the club the fee that they want. They pay what's called installments. People need to understand what installments is. So, for example, we've just paid 50 million to Chelsea for Andre Santos. We don't pay Chelsea 50 million right now. We give them maybe 15 million, 10 million. That's what's called smart fucking business. That's what Sean's trying to say. The likes of Arsenal, City, Liverpool. Yes, I agree with you, Lawani. They're investing a lot to retain the Premier League, but that's smart business what they're doing with Manchester City with Elliot Anderson. They're not giving Nottingham Forest 120 whatever it is million straight away. They're giving them maybe 25 million one season, another 25 million another season, and so on, so on, so on. That's smart fucking business, and that's the reason why I'm really pissed off, because we've missed an opportunity with Tonali, Tchouaméni, with all these other fucking players that we're linked to. But
why are we all ignoring the backdrop of the team? We are the only club in the league that's more than $1 billion in debt. So we have to shut it down eventually, or change our strategy. Well, you wanna be more in debt, or you want to start fixing stuff?
Let's say I agree with everything that you're saying. Let's say I agree with you 100%. Why did the club, obviously through their stenographers, Laurie Whitwell in the Athletic and the likes, why did the club brief us that they were interested in Elliot Anderson? Why did the club brief us that they were interested in Tonali or Matheus Fernandes?
Facts.
Why did the club tell us that they had 80 million to spend here? Apparently, for Fernandes, we're willing to spend 80 plus 5, right? But we're not willing to spend 85. Why were we not? Why did the club go through all of that if what you're saying is true and we have to tighten our belt? Because I'm perfectly willing to accept that, this is our strategy. But that's not what it looks like. What it looks like is we went for the big shots, we failed, and now we're trying to rationalize the failure by putting together this kind of after the fact narrative. I don't know. I'm not buying it.
Sean, I would go even further. I would go further and think that the reason why we quickly signed Santos, because we knew the Tchouaméni deal was coming out with Real Madrid.
I agree.
Tchouaméni used us like most Real Madrid players use us. And Manchester United have been using Tchouaméni to keep sections of the fan base happy. Listen, I have zero expectations of this football structure, this football club, about these fucking owners. I know that Manchester United anytime soon are not challenging for no Premier League and competing in the late stages of the Champions League. So I am actually content with that. I want them out. I always want them out. There is not a moment that I do not want these vultures out. But it's interesting how certain people of the fan base get spun. The most that I can hope for as a fan of the club, not of the fucking owners, separate. And somebody who wants Carrick to do well, because by his statement, the way he was groveling to the fans, he was almost telling the fans, without you this and that. I don't know if you saw his statement yesterday. I was just like, wow, he knows that he's going to be functioning with one arm tied behind his back. You put it before succinctly earlier, Sean, when you said we were playing one game a week. Now we're going to be most likely playing over 55 games. It's been 100-something years since the last time we went out on the first round of the League Cup and the first round of the FA Cup. So at the end of the day, that's not going to happen. I hope that doesn't happen again, right? So we're going to get at least 8 games guaranteed. 8 games guaranteed in the Champions League. Home and away. 8 games. So that is going to add. So we're going to be guaranteed 48 games next season. See what rounds we get in the League Cup, what rounds we get in the FA Cup. And he talked about trophy the other day in his statement. We all, I think majority of us has accepted that Manchester United needed to sign 6 to 7 players this summer. Some of us said even 8. But we said, okay, 6 to 7 players is reasonable. Because the club doesn't use January to make multiple signings. They don't do that. They signed 1 January. They signed Dorgu, underwhelming, who's somebody who needs to acclimatize from Serie A. And then they signed a young kid with 0 pressure on him. Obviously, he was signing for 1 million from Arsenal. But most Januaries, they don't move and sign places. So they don't make deals significant like Man City have done. Man City have used 4 transfer windows in the last 2 years and completely transformed their team. Other clubs do that. So the point is that I think most of us agreed and said, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then at least sign 5 first-team players so that we can have five of the first team now starting last season on the bench in terms of the squad, the quality of the squad. I agree with Luwani. Manchester United have not been in the last 14 years to win a league title or to challenge for a league title. We've not been there. So Luwani's right about that. So it's about building a squad. But I don't know how many rebuilds we're on. Are we on the 14th rebuild, 15th rebuild, 16th rebuild, or 20th rebuild? I don't know what we're at. I'm going to ask the question I've asked the majority of the audience. People were shadow banned, so the least you could do is smash the fucking like on the video. Smash the like on the video. It's 1 o'clock. Majority of these people want to go to bed, right? So at the end of the day, just smash the like. It costs you absolutely nothing. And I'm going to ask you, Luwani, the question I've asked everybody to vote on. Are Manchester United going to get that marquee midfield signing in this transfer window? So far, the poll says 70% say no, 30% say yes. And by the way, we are, I'll tell you how much we're off 200 likes. We are 50, well, 51? No, 61. 61 likes.
We're on 140 likes. Yeah,
so we're 60 likes of 2K likes. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked the question. The truth is that I would love for them to get a marquee signing so that can calm some of us down and in section of the fan. But the truth is that if they didn't get a marquee signing, that wouldn't allow me, because a marquee signing is down to interpretation. Somebody is marquee signing until they're not the marquee signing. I guess Isaac for Liverpool was supposed to be a marquee signing until he's not, right? So it all boils down to the plan and their ability to execute it. Just because we put out there that players or we are interested in certain players, don't mean that the players are interested in coming to us. You can like a girl and the girl might not like you. What do you want? You announce to everybody. That doesn't mean that she will become your girlfriend. That's just not the way life works. But the reality is that in the market, we're going to get outbid by other teams. If you look at Tottenham and their ability to spend, we can argue last year that Tottenham at the beginning of the season had a better team than our team. When you look at their team, they genuinely have a better team than us. But look at where they finish compared to where we finish. That means that somewhere we have something that they don't. We have the ability to maximize on our talent.
Luwani, I just want to stress about Spurs last season. They had 11 first-team players out. I just want to put that in context.
Facts.
Yes, sir. That is also part of the game. That's a freaky situation, but it's not meant to repeat itself. But regardless, right? If we're looking at all the context, is that we were able to maximize, and they were not able to maximize because of where they finished in the league. So we cannot compare their panic signing or the way they are handling their transfer markets to the way we will handle our transfer market. As long as I see a plan, a foresight, and some execution, I think I'll be a bit more patient, because next year when I tune in, I want to see poetry in motion. That's it. The rest, their ability, yes, we can have a separate conversation. I do not disagree with everybody on here saying that the Glazers' purpose, Mr. Ineos' purpose, is to squeeze profit out of the team. But I'm trying to separate it from the product that they will put on the pitch. If they can put a good product on the pitch, wouldn't that answer our grievances? Or what exactly do we want?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's simple for me. It's about team cohesion. I don't need big names, me personally. What I need is a plan from the football club, a way of playing, a way of fitting the jigsaws right in. But go ahead, Ben. Manchester United are gonna get their marquees. Actually, I'll go to Sean because Sean is
Yeah,
up
go
there.
Sean. Yeah, go Sean.
Go ahead, Sean, and then we'll go to Ben, and then we'll wrap up people.
I don't even know what marquee signing means anymore. Because if you tell me that,
Chouameni, for example, Chouameni.
yeah, that's what I'm getting to
Just
now.
call
So
it a shirt seller.
yeah,
Fuck
because if you tell me
Chouameni.
that Baleba is a marquee signing, then I'll tell you that you're joking, right? And so again, like I'm just allow me for today, for maybe the rest of the summer until the season starts, right? To be disappointed, and then from then I'll switch back to Giddy FC, like without any shame or remorse. So like, there's no, from my perspective, I don't see any marquee signing coming in. I don't know that there's a marquee signing available for us to get. I think the best that we can do this summer is to sign Baleba. Like that's the best that I think we can do. And so, hopefully we're able to see
So
it
somebody
through.
like Alex Scott will be underwhelming, but apparently some Chelsea fans are tweeting that Alex Scott, they're getting Alex Scott, by the way.
Yes, no, I know you like Alex Scott, but to me,
No,
Alex
I'm
Scott
just
to be,
asking your opinion, regardless what I
yeah,
like or not.
no, Alex Scott to be
Do you think
underwhelming
it's
to me.
underwhelming? Okay.
It would be underwhelming to me.
Okay.
The midfield that I wanted, I wanted
Do you think?
Tonali,
Okay.
Fernandez.
Do you think Manchester United can hijack Bruno Guimaraes?
No, because in addition to the incompetence in the negotiation, apparently we now have this very interesting standard for signing players, where the player has to only want to come to us, right? The player has to effectively only. So we're no longer in the business of persuasion or of convincing the player or marketing or doing a deal. They don't want to work. They just want a player who. So it seems like Bruno G has already said he wants to go to Arsenal, and so that's it. That's point blank period. United are not going to be able to convince him, since we're only looking for people who are dreaming and hoping of us. It's unfortunate, guys.
We are selling shit. Okay, shit is some. We are selling shit. We are the ugliest man in the street. Okay, nobody wants to date us right now.
Yeah,
No, but apparently that is the case. Our main guy Anderson didn't want us. He wanted to go to City.
no, but I don't agree
We
with
wanted
that completely.
Tonali. We wanted Tonali. We couldn't make it happen for whatever reason. We wanted Matheus Fernandes, and apparently the club had the audacity to brief the reporters that they were not convinced that Matheus Fernandes only wanted us. Right? That's what the club is saying. That Fernandes should have turned down £250,000 a week and gotten into a fight with his club on behalf of United. Okay.
Yeah, big up, Sean, man. Big up.
Big up, Sean.
No, I mean, for me, I mean, Luani says, "What do we want? Like, what do we want?" Well, for me, obviously, my main target is, before we even get to the Champions League or Premier League, is I want these bastards out, man. I've been praying it for the last 20 years, bro. They deserve nothing but hell. Coming towards them, especially with Jim Ratcliffe's racist comments. No club of mine should ever be racist or have a Zionist supporter. For the biggest club in the world, man. So that's just my first take. We've got incompetent people that haven't got a Scooby Doo what they're doing. Like Sean said, obviously, I don't actually necessarily agree with. I don't think Elliot Anderson wanted to go to City. I think it's just because Elliot Anderson went to City is because we couldn't persuade him or encourage him or we just couldn't how to say it, like we tried explaining what the project is, what Ineos's project is, and he just didn't like it, and that's it. Whereas Fergie back in the day, Fergie used to go to all these big superstars, big players around the world, up and coming players, and he said, "Look, I'm at Man United. You know what Man United's all about, but I'm Alex Ferguson, bro. You know what you're going to get at Man United. You know what you're going to get from me, and that's why Man United. That's why so many players around the world love Fergie and give him so much respect. With Carrick, obviously, yes, he's a young coach. Obviously he's a legend in my opinion as a player, but he hasn't done much. But it's not really Carrick's fault at this moment in time. It's these people who, the Baradas, the fucking Vivels, Wilcox. They haven't got a Scooby Doo what they're doing. They're like Richard Arnold. They're like John Murta. Like I said, but as I said, I think we're in trouble. As Musa says, he always says, and I love his quote all the time: man, then we are fucking finished. I seriously do think we're going to struggle this season if we don't get and when people say marquee signing, I don't mean like fucking like the Ronaldos, the Messis in this world. No, no, no. I just need. I want like the thing is, Embuemo was a marquee signing. Cunha was a marquee signing. You can even argue the fact that Sesko was close to a marquee signing. Why? Because Cunha and Buemo had probably one of the best seasons of their Premier League careers. The season when we signed them, Sesko had a really decent season, bright start at Leipzig, and then obviously Le Mans. Obviously, yeah, I'll give props to the club. Well done to them, but it just really really frustrates me, man, because just to see all these other clubs being super super ambitious and spending their money wisely, even though they're spending 100 million, but they're spending on installments. All the Ineos bootlickers kept telling me that Ineos purchase players in installments but we're now paying 15 million now to Ederson. We're paying 10 or 15 million to fucking Santos. So look, realistically, bro, it's just a load of bollocks, man. Everything's just all saving up for the stadium. I've always said this, man. And I just think we're going to be in for a rough ride. I do agree with Luani. We do need to build a team. I 100% agree with that. But you need to be ambitious too. That's just my view. And I just think we're going to be in trouble next season, bro. And I really feel for Carrick, man, even though I really want them to do well. And yeah, obviously I have his doubts on game management, but I just really, really worry, man. Just the same with Ruben Amorim, just the same with Ten Hag. Just when Jarvis and I were, the Ten Hag inners, man. But I really do feel for all these coaches and all these fucking staff coming in and entering a fucking hostile environment, man. But honestly, my biggest priority, man, I don't really give a shit about what happens the rest of the season with signings. I just want this fan base to get a grip. The fact that we organize protests for when we don't sign a fucking midfielder, for when we don't sign a goalkeeper, centre back, striker. Why can't we not organize a protest about the depth? Why can't we organize a protest about racism for our owner who was racistly abused the whole fucking fan base? I just don't understand what goes through our fucking heads, bro. Why can't we not get a grip? Why you keep sending us like what do we want? I want that. Before we get to Champions League, before we get to Premier League, if you'd ask me right now, would I rather win a Champions League or get the vultures out? I'd rather get the vultures out. And I don't care what anyone says, bro, but I'm looking for the best interest for this fucking football club for the next 10 fucking years, bro, because I don't want to be sat here with fucking grey fucking hair. I hope and pray to God I don't have grey hair. That I'm sat here, I'm still saying to Nerd in the next 10 years, when are we ever going to fucking take some action, bro, and get these vultures out? Because we're never. But yeah, that's my final pence, man. And big up to you, Nerd. I love the fucking top, bro. I love the fucking top, man. The free dairy, man. Beautiful, bro. Fucking beautiful, man. Absolutely phenomenal, man. Love, bro. Love King. And love to the chat, by the way. Big up to the chat, as always.
Yeah, and you're now entering free dairy, mate. Free dairy. Love. Love. Listen, go ahead, Jarvis. I think you're the last person to answer this question.
Yeah. Guys, first of all, if you haven't, please do us a favor, smash the like. It's still 136 of you watching, so if you haven't, do us the favor and smash the like. It's so important for all of the algorithms. And as I said last show, if you want the big corporations to win the YouTube battle, and every time you scroll to your timeline, you will get Sky and BBC and the overlap and all of them up instead of independent channels. Okay, that's okay. Don't like. But if you want us to be a part of your timeline, give us a like. It's so important. So that's just 2 cents on the likes from Jarvis. Well, when it comes to the players, what concerns me a little bit is, okay, people talk about the top tier signing, whatever that is, but I'm a little bit more concerned about the reports saying that Ederson is going into a second medical, and I feel like everything is just set up with all the reports coming out at the same time that the Ederson deal will be off, and it's 9th of July today, and it will mean if the Ederson deal is off, we'll only have one signing in this 9th of July. So it tells me we are starting to go into desperation mode. We don't. There's not many of these big tier one type of signings left. We have Wharton, we have Alex Scott, two of them. Tchouaméni just signed a new contract with Real Madrid today. We know Tonali is gone, Matheus Fernandes is gone, Elliot Anderson is gone. So where do we move next? And we still need two midfielders if Ederson is leaving or not signing for us. So I'm starting to get a little bit concerned because of this. But if Man United have done their due diligence, they would have lined up more signings. You know, as soon as the Matheus Fernandes deal went away, I think we had already talked with Chelsea about Santos for more than a week or maybe more. So hopefully things will move a little bit more quickly right now. And another thing I've been talking about on this channel is the transfer strategy. And if you look at wages, I try to find out how much we have offered Santos on wages. There are some loose reports stating that he's going to sign on 75,000 a week. Nothing confirmed, nothing from the tier one journalists. That's roughly about 3.9 million pounds a year. So that's not much, you know, in footballing wise. When you think of a player like Casemiro, he was on 18 million pounds a season. So 3.9, that's not much. If we can get both Ederson and Santos, they will both be on 75k a week. So basically two midfielders in for 8 million pounds a year. And I say, let's say we cover Casemiro's wage to cover the midfield. So if you have 4 million on Santos, 4 on Ederson, we will have 10 millions left on the tier one signing, and that's roughly what are we talking about? 10 million divided by 52. That's roughly 190k a week. So we could be willing to offer that much to the last midfielder, and who could that be? Who is out there? That's my question, because I can't see many. The only one I want out of the guys who's left must be Adam Wharton. You know, besides Sander Berge, obviously. Sander Berge, you know, is one of my favorites. But Adam Wharton, he hasn't been linked to Liverpool that much after Iraola came. So he might be a player we could go for if we are moving swiftly into the market. But still, we wouldn't have the height that we talk about. We wouldn't have the defensive stability, the clear number 6. So, you know, now it's just back to the drawing board and try to figure out who can be signed. And I don't know, Noradin, quick question for you. Where can we go? And with a budget of, let's say, 190k a week for a tier 1 signing, what could we do?
I don't think we can go anywhere because the club have set their sights on Elliot Anderson, Matheus Fernandes, Tchouaméni. That was what they chased, or that's what at least they briefed they were chasing. Right? Yeah. Sometimes it's about briefing. This club has always been about spin and PR. So then what happened is that the next set of midfielders, so that was the top tier, that was the marquee signings, The next top tier, then the prices of those players then goes up, because we know that transfer windows not just waiting for Manchester United, there are other clubs bidding. And when the market is set to that amount of money, then they had to make it, and that's why the Santos came. And that's what I asked 2 shows ago. All of last week, I was asking. Since the Matheus Fernandes dinner, I was saying, I don't want Manchester United to panic. I don't want Manchester United to panic and spend the money on the wrong player if they don't have that much money. I'd rather they spent it on quality.
The budget before the season, or we went into this, was estimated to be 150 million pounds plus the sales of Ugarte. So we estimated 180 million pounds, but we are not selling Ugarte. We know that. So what we are left with now, 35 plus 50, we are left with
Jarvis,
65 to 70 millions for the last
I
midfielder.
refuse to accept that framing, Jarvis. That's the difference with me and a lot of fans. I'm refusing to accept that framing. Manchester United are back in the Champions League. Manchester United are guaranteed with the 8 games at least 100 million, plus all of the things that come for all the advertisements, right? And all the other thing that's going to come from the Premier League in terms of the TV money. The ticket prices they hyped up. There's already going to take ticket increase already. So Manchester United are bending the fans over. Like I said, the cheapest ticket on any match day now for disabled, for the elderly, and for children is 99. It's almost like 90 something pounds. This is what I'm trying to say to you. So they're making money off the fans, and they're saying there's no money. Bullshit. They're going to get more revenue. They're going to get more advertising money. Plus the Amazon show as well. Big up, somebody just said that. Redstone. So all of this money is going to be in there. Apparently, it's 13 or 14 million or whatever it is they're getting from the Amazon deal. So I refuse to accept this. The Spurs owners have put their own money in where their mouth is. Why can't Ineos and the Glazers do that? So I'm not accepting this, their poor bullshit. I'm not accepting it. I am not.
Like yeah, but you know, I'm just trying to connect the dots. That's just what I'm doing.
But I'm not.
You know,
but I don't believe that. But I'm against the framing. I'm not here for the framing because Manchester United were not 1 billion point 3 in debt. Then we would have extra how many millions a season to be able to spend on transfer windows. And none of these minions, not the Athletic, not any of these people ever ask a question when they come in front of somebody who's, whether the CEO, whether it's Jim the Rat or any Glazer, about the debt the club is in and what that's doing to the football club. So I understand what you're saying.
I know what you're saying, and
I don't expect the framing. I think too many of us have become accountants and have accepted Glazonomics, which is a doctrine. Football and finance is completely different from the financial world. Football is one thing. Football finance and how football operates financially is totally different. And the only consistent thing that Jim the racist Glazer has said, he wants to make Manchester United profitable. For fucking who? So I'm not accepting any of this framing about the money.
Well, the fact is we have been losing money as an organization. The Man United have been losing money, you know, every year since the corona. Well, that's the owner's fault. But again, maybe this is what Sir Jim is trying to fix. Make us go in profit when he talks about us being profitable. But you know, as I said, if you just think of it, let's say we spend 8 million on the 2 midfielders we have signed already. We have then about how much was it? 10 millions left on the wages. That's 190k a week and a signing of 65 to 70. And the only one who fits. That's why I mentioned Bruno Guimaraes. I know Ornstein reported tonight that he wants Arsenal. He's forcing a move. That's the only deal I can see us trying to hijack in that bracket. Because we know Alex Scott, 80 million. We know Wharton, 80 to 100 million. Or, hold on tight, Baleba. Yeah. You can laugh.
You want for Baleba now? Seeing how much Alex Scott has been put on, how much Mateus Fernandes has gone, how much Tonali's gone for, how much do you think Brighton want for Baleba? Go ahead, Luani.
Yeah, see, guys,
I need to hear that Ineos flavor, yeah, because I'm sure maybe Ineos has sponsored your big your truck. But go on.
No, that's what I was about to say. Look, I hate the Glazers and Ineos as much as anybody on this panel, but like I say, I only pick battles that I can win. When we talk about Manchester United, us as fans, including me, there's a level of hypocrisy that we display because we talk about all those things that the Glazers, the Ineos are doing to the club. But unless you're watching Manchester United from a pirated device. You directly putting money in their pockets, whether you're watching it on a cable TV, you're watching it at the stadium with the weekly attendance ticket, or you're a season ticket holder. We are all part of the problem. And that is the issue. And they know it in the same mode that Infantino knows that the World Cup is his leverage. The Glazers know that Manchester United is also their leverage. There's nothing we can do about that. We can keep calling it out as much as we want, okay? Which is our right because we've been served a bad product. That's fine. But thinking that will move the lever in our favor, unless you're ready to organize a mass protest that will be followed by every single fan around the world, I don't think for me, I can sit down there and make the case. This Manchester United, watching football is not a matter of life and death. It's a matter of convenient choices in life. In other parts of the world, right now, there are bombs falling on kids. I don't think that. I think they have other priorities in life. But to be honest, this is where I fall. As long as they give us a better product on the pitch, not that I'm willing to let them get away with some stuff, but I think it takes more than us, more than you, Nuruddin. It takes a concerted effort and some serious sacrifice to make this guy leave the club.
Yeah. And it will never happen, Bo.
I'm not arguing with that. Emptying the stadium for one game would do serious. Will go a long way. The fans are not willing to do it.
Yeah.
And the majority of us in Manchester are also shitbags. It's a fact.
Big up, guys. I'm gonna run home. Sorry, my internet was bad today. I was somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah, listen, big up.
Yeah,
to you,
big
right?
up. Big up.
Please let
Big
them
up,
know
Luani.
what you're live tomorrow, Jarvis. I need you to know what time you're going to be live tomorrow.
Well, I think the game is on 9 p.m., so we will try to squeeze in a show 8 p.m. UK time, Stu and I.
Cool.
Yeah, so we will just be a short transfer roundup on the latest, but it's been a lot going on. We never got to discuss the Greenwood deal, and we never actually got to talk about
Greenwood signed for who? AC Milan?
No, the Turkish club. Was it Trabzonspor or someone?
Oh,
yeah.
okay. How much for?
40 million, I believe. So we will receive a sell-on percentage of the sell-on clause. So I'm not sure how much. Ben mentioned 10 million, but for me it sounded a lot. I think it's between 5 to 10 million.
Yeah. We had 20% of sell-on clause.
Fenerbahce. Thank you, guys. Thank you, DJ Paul.
Wow, he's gone there.
Yeah,
they must be giving him big wages.
Yeah. So yeah, but it brings in money to the club, and that's a good thing. Although it was a talent that got away. Green. Yeah. It was a good player.
He could never explain that video. Then the idea of him playing in the Premier League and anybody else in the Premier League touching him, or even big European clubs, was never going to work.
No. Unfortunately for him, but that's just a matter of the fact.
I said it at the time. If you come out and explain that video, and you said, "Okay, I'm gonna get some help. I'm gonna go," because I don't believe in punishing people forever, Jarvis. I'm not a big believer.
Not forever.
No, I believe that young people can make mistakes, and they can learn from those mistakes, and they can actually use that as a learning thing to learn and take responsibility and take accountability. I do believe in restorative justice. I don't believe in locking people up and throwing them and like.
But he never did. He never came out and explained it. We could have sat there with his wife and talked about it and explained it to us. We only heard
exactly.
We only heard the audio, so
exactly.
But it didn't sound good.
Yeah, of course, it didn't sound horrific.
Yeah, it was shocking. Yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah,
but they are still married. So
I think the club have a duty of care as well to the players if it's exhibiting that type of behaviors. But like I said, they put the young players on the pedestal, make them think they're this world beaters, and then they expect when they behave like that. That's what I'm trying to say to you. What kind of a football club we are? Incompetent football club.
But in a way,
by the way, if I'm Chouameni, if I'm Eddie Anderson, if I'm Mateus Fernandez, if any of you lot were their dads, their brothers, and you were advising them, you would not advise them to go to Manchester United. You look at Manchester United in the last 2 years ago, 3 managers. Chaos football club.
But I'm just going to say one more thing before we wrap it up. When it comes to these signings we have been doing now, Ederson, now Andre Santos, coming in on reasonable low wages compared to the top end of the Premier League, £75,000 a week, if it's true.
Plus bonuses, Jarvis.
Yeah, okay. So it's let's say with bonuses, it's 100k. But again,
what we're saying is that from what I understand from the Cunha, Sesko, and Mbermo, is that they're getting a lot of bonuses.
But I think that's the right model, to be honest, because I'm sick of all of these guys coming into Man United.
It's the Liverpool model. It's the Liverpool model.
Yeah. But I'm sick of all these guys coming in. Yeah.
What I don't understand is that let's say that Cunha is getting paid 175,000 with the bonuses of his man of the match performances, goals, assists, the way he played. It goes up to almost like another 40 grand, 50 grand sometimes. So it takes them over 200 with the bonuses.
Yeah, but that's fair, a winning bonus. If you win the game, okay, they slap on an extra 30k a week. That's fair, It gives them some motivation to go out and win, And I'm sick of, as I was trying to say, I'm sick of these players coming in on super high wages, young guys, believing that they have made it already. Jadon Sancho as the best example. You can also talk about Rashford, even though he performed for a couple of seasons. But again, players coming in and suddenly felt that they made it and lost all their motivation to go out and perform every week. They were occasional players. That's been Man United for the last 10 years, showing up at the big moments, big games. Then we can do it. But in the everyday games against the Hulls and against the Stokes and all of them, they drop in performance, and we can't have that. So in a way, I think we are moving into the right direction with what we are doing right now, bringing in players, trying to do whatever we can to hold them down a little bit, because and slap on big winning bonuses and scoring bonuses and assist bonuses and whatever, makes them tick. We just got to do this, because I'm sick of seeing this overpaid, spoiled brats just standing there and making a mockery out of us fans. And so in a way, I'm happy with what's going on, but I'm not sure if they're doing it the right way, and especially when it comes to the quality of the signings.
Usually a high wage means that you're challenging for the league title, and I agree to a certain extent. We've been paying big wages, but we've not been anywhere near a Champions League later stages or a league title. But also, Jarvis, the players are not the only ones who are making money out of this football club. There are a lot of agents making money out of the football club, and the directors who've got shares in the football club, and Glazers and now Ineos are going to get dividends whether we like it or not.
Yeah. Didn't they put on a ban on themselves not taking dividend for
I don't believe that fully, Jarvis.
2 years after the sale or the takeover or whatever they call it.
Jarvis, they needed an investment. They're not getting dividends because they got paid how much? How much did he pay for the 28%?
Well, the club has lost money, so they can't take dividend when the club loses money.
Jarvis, the club has been in decline for a long time, and they were still taking dividends.
Yeah. Look at Old Trafford as an example. Yeah.
Listen, Jarvis is live at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll try to make that show. Big up, I'm not chopped up with Stu for a while, but big up, love and light people.
Yeah, we have Morocco-France tomorrow night. Isn't that a game? Yeah. It's on 9 p.m.
I'm going to go around to my friend to jump, but I can jump on for about 40 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah. Cool.
But it's love, people. We've chopped it up as much as we can, but there was so much news, so much to debate. I 100% know Tchouaméni. They knew that Tchouaméni signed for Real Madrid, and that's why the Santos deal was rushed. Yeah, I wish him all the best. I hope that he comes.
Yeah, me too.
And I hope that he develops and kicks on and meets that ceiling.
But that's also why I'm you know, I saw some people reacting. I was kind of sometimes negative towards the players and his abilities, but I think we just got to try to keep a level approach to these guys, because we do this as a Man United fan base. No one have heard about Andre Santos like a week ago, or at least studied him thoroughly, besides Chelsea fans, and suddenly everybody is an expert telling me, oh, he's a baller, he's fantastic, he's great, and all of this. You know, gotta be leveled. We gotta be not hype them up too much, because when we do, we put the pressure on their shoulders, and when they perform and we see them in a game, suddenly we just go ballistic because they can't live up to our expectations. Gotta keep it level, guys.
100% Jarvis. Half of those people who are saying that, half of them are Ineos bootlickers. The other half are just very enthusiastic.
That
fan base who just think, right, positivity. Half of them are doing it cynically because they're Ineos bootlickers who've got their heads in Ineos Glazers' backsides. That's who they are. The other half, they just like to be optimistic about any signing.
Yeah, but as I said, you know, he has to work on a lot of things in his game to become that level.
100%.
He's not there yet, and
the most
and to develop as a player, you have to have time. It takes time to develop. You can't go from A to B in once.
I'm giving him the full season as a young kid.
Yeah.
See how long he develops, and I really hope they've got the coaching to work and improve. Because the most damaging thing that I read is that his stamina.
Yeah.
And he's already
and also DJ Paul says, what about the ones who say he's shit? Yeah, and the same goes for them, you know.
Well, I don't know if you were here, DJ Paul, but I think it's underwhelming, 100%. It's underwhelming. But Ben said he's this and that, and I was like, well, objectively, we've not seen him in a red shirt yet. We've not seen him kick a ball, so we have to be objective. We cannot say he is crap. Like, I knew about Onana, I knew about Harry Maguire. I said it. I'm on tape saying it, both about Harry Maguire and about Onana.
But they were established older players.
Yeah, but I knew those two players.
You know, the same amount of grace doesn't go towards Ederson, for example.
I mean, no, but I knew 100% that Onana was all hype, and we get gaslighted. I mean, that's the cleverness of Pep Guardiola. Every player he shouts out, Manchester United went and signed him, and all of them didn't really work. Sanchez, Maguire, Onana, Fred. So it is what it is. And the most worrying thing you said is like Fred. I hope he's much better on the ball than Fred, because Fred, one minute it was Fred from Stoke, the next minute it was Fred from Brazil. And that inconsistency was mad. But Onana, for me, and Maguire, I knew about DJ Paul. I knew, and I'm on tape. I am on tape saying both of them. No, I'm not buying this BS. I'm not. And I still wish them luck. I still said hopefully they can prove me wrong. But the ones who are saying he's shit, they're just, I don't think they saying he's shit. They're just severely underwhelmed. And I blame the club for that, because the club gets them all excited and hyped up to sign these marquee big name signings. That is the reason why nobody ever talks about how much it is a fault of the club, and how much they boss up the interactions of the
but it's not just the club, it's also the agents, and you know, we fall for the bullshit every time, and you know, from now on I will be super skeptical against Mendes. I have learned my lesson once and for all. I know he's a bullshitter.
What did I say to you?
Yeah, you said so.
Jarvis, what did I say to you? What did I say to you? What did I say to you about last week or sometime last week? I said to you, we should not be the sharks. He's a big shark, and he's going to spin us around, mess with us.
But we talked about it, you know. But again, I didn't.
Into with Mendes. I said that To me, the red flag started ringing when he forced us to buy Ugarte to get us Euro. Never making deals like that. It should be about the agent's fee. We're happy to play fair. The player, if he's interested in coming to Manchester United, that's what it should be. We shouldn't be doing.
Could it be Mendes just doing this on spite to
100%.
to show off Man United that because we're not negotiating with him and doing it on his terms? He
Jarvis,
just leaks out stuff.
Jarvis, I don't know if I've told you this before, but I remember going to watch a youth game, and a friend of mine had his kid at United, and in the same time as Charlotte. Remember Charlotte? And he was like,
Charlotte. He came on when we had Ole as a manager, and he was nowhere near ready.
Do you know the reason why he played, Jarvis? Because his agent was who?
Mendes.
And my friend's kid was way ahead of him in terms of being ready, and he didn't make his debut. He didn't. He left Manchester United, my friend's kid. So this just shows you he bullies football clubs. He knows what he's doing. And we should not be going into bed with those players.
Yeah.
If players don't want to join us, fine. There's more players to scout, another place to go and get. It's not like he's got all the players in the world. No, he hasn't.
No.
But anyway, people, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Jarvis will be live there. Jarvis, Tactical Devils, people. Bowley X on X, Bowley BOLE77. He also streams on X, but preferred if you go to YouTube and watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And interact on YouTube. But make sure you check out Milovan Luwani 1979 on X, United Trucker. Make sure you check out Sean Thomas on X, and make sure you check him out, his geopolitical podcast, How We See Things. Make sure you check out Ben at Elmore39 on X and Elmore20 on Twitch and TikTok. Free Palestine. You're now entering Free Derry. Solidarity and love the 6 boroughs occupied. Big up, Jarvis. Six boroughs that are occupied by the British Empire. Solidarity and love. We United Ireland, Free Lebanon, Free Palestine, Free Congo, Free Sudan, Free Syria, Free Iran, free the world from the war machine and the imperialists and all of the colonizers. Love and light, people. World Cup will be back. The most corrupt World Cup we've ever seen. Yemen as well. Yeah. And Somaliland as well from Zionist takeover. Edison Ball winning ball carrying midfielder. Kobbie controller who dictates play. Andre Santos, energetic number 8 who presses, wins duels and arrives in the box. I hope you're right.
And
Hando.
and Sander Birch coming in with composure.
There you go. I'll take Sander Birch.
The perfect midfield and aerial ability, winning.
Yeah. To be fair, Santos is not bad. From the reports that I read, Jarvis, he's not bad in the air, actually. For a guy who's 5'10".
No, he's not bad. He's not bad.
Ball. Yeah, attacking the ball, he's quite good. Yeah. And now, most likely, Manchester United have given them a 50 million to go and get Chelsea. Okay, then. And then they can sell Fernandes to Real Madrid. They want 140. But yeah, people, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Tactical Devils there. Check out the YouTube. It should be on at least 7 to 8, 10,000 subscribers. At least
we are getting there, Nerdin.
And subscribe to the channel.
But it's just numbers about creating a good community, as you have here, the Therapy Army, and you guys, the best guys in the world. You know, you are enlightened. You understand football. That's the best thing. See a lot of comments. I don't read them out all the time, and we don't do it, but a lot of good comments, guys.
Yeah, somebody saying here, why is anybody surprised, honestly? Well, we're not surprised when it comes to Manchester United now. We're not surprised about Mendes. We're not surprised. Fergie would get hold of him on the phone because his voice carried a lot. But he knows he messed around the Woodward and all of these bankers, and now you can mess around Ineos, who are desperate fools, the likes of Jason Wilcox. You can mess them around. That's the fact. And they panicked and said Santos because they knew that your remaining news was coming out. We know how they work, people. We know how they work. I've got a PhD in Glazers and the PR stint that comes from this fucking football club. I know how they think. I know how they move. Yeah, big up Ramos. Big up. Big up to all my people in
CG Ramos 7, Carlos.
Yeah, big up. Love. Hope you well. Love, man. Feels like you're in a sunny place. Is that Costa Rica? Is he in Costa Rica?
Ramos, that's the Spanish, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he
Carlos
might be.
Ramos.
That's a, if I'm not mistaken, that might be a Costa Rican flag, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Big up. Take care, people. Good night.
Good night.
8 o'clock tomorrow. Jarvis, Tactical Devils, people. Tactical Devils, right there. See us tomorrow. Like he said, it's about building community, really. That's a United flag. Okay, big up. Big up, though. Puerto Rico. You're Puerto Rico. I'm from Puerto Rico. Okay, sorry.
Oh, okay. Nice,
Love,
nice.
Man. Love. Yeah. I like the music, man. What's the kid called who played at the Super Bowl? Bad Bunny. I like some of his tracks. Take care. Good night, people.